What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another Saturday night, another After Dark. My name is Aaron Knoll. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. We are back after missing last week due to what I'll call clerical error. That sounds professional, right? So we are back once again talking about all the latest in movie news. This is as compressed as humanly possible for everything that happened over the course of the last 2 weeks in movie news. But I am not alone. I am joined by the guys that are here week in, week out, doing it with me. First up, he is Mr. About to win some big bucks, Matt Beer. How's it going, bro?
I removed myself for a second, but hey, Aaron. Today has some good things going for it, and then there was some horrifically terrible things that happened earlier about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe, is when it premiered to the world, which killed the movie industry instantly.
I just want to say the mass murder he discussed is not an official topic, but I'll give him 2 minutes to rant. And also joining us, they are here every week. One has opinions, the other just likes to sit there and listen. We have Nikki and Devin. How's it going, guys?
Hey, I didn't know what he was talking about at first, but now I do, and I'm just like, come on, man. What are you expecting?
Something that isn't complete garbage.
But Captain Burnham's in it.
I don't care. It's complete garbage.
But I love Sonequa Martin Green. She's a treasure.
And I love the Looney Tunes, but they died today too.
They did not die.
Yes, they did.
All right. So here, I'll set a timer on you guys since it's not an official topic. I haven't seen the trailer, so
this should be the lead topic.
Yeah, no. I haven't seen the trailer, so I have no opinion on it. I'll give you guys till like the 5-minute mark. Go ahead and hash out why you hate and or love the Looney Tunes. The next, what is it called? The next chapter.
The shit stain.
Huh?
It's not a lead topic because it didn't come out. The trailer for it came out.
Yeah. So it's back in action, whatever it's called. No. It's not a lead topic because it's just a trailer. Who cares? It's a trailer.
Space Jam, the shit stain that destroyed humanity. That's what this movie is. So I'll tell you what. I heard a little bit about this movie. Not really impressed by what I've heard. Because it's Space Jam. It's about the Looney Tunes and an insert basketball player, LeBron, Jordan, doesn't matter. And before this trailer came out, I wasn't like, oh my God, this is gonna be the worst thing ever. I was just like, I hate. I don't like what I hear about it, but, we'll see what they do about it. And I don't hate LeBron on the court. Not the biggest fan of him, but off the court, I think he's a great person. I really do. And he's great in Trainwreck. I like him in Trainwreck a lot. So, I was like, okay, you got Ryan Coogler producing this thing. Okay, here we go. I may not like the whole let's introduce all these Warner Brother characters in there because, I guess we need another Ready Player One. And we're not going to make the second one for a long time because the book for Ready Player 2 is complete and utter garbage by what everybody is saying. Like, it's terrible. I haven't read it. I'm not going to spend money on it. So I was like, okay, they want to make their Ready Player 2, but with Space Jam makes no sense at all. But hey, whatever. So I watched the trailer, and I'm not like the biggest fan of the original. It came out I guess before my time because I was not born yet or something like that. Maybe I was, but, so I don't have this whole nostalgia thing with it and whatnot, but the trailer comes out and I felt like something inside me died because it's like, okay, we got the Looney Tunes. LeBron's a cartoon. Don't really understand why he's a cartoon. Jordan never became a cartoon. So why are we making LeBron a cartoon? Whatever. So you see in the trailer, and this proves LeBron has to build a super team just to win a ring or save humanity or whatever, because we see on the drawing board, he needs Superman, he needs Gandalf the Grey and all these other characters. He's got to have it. So Jordan didn't need that. Jordan had the Looney Tunes and Bill Murray. That's what he had, but no, you got to have Superman, LeBron, because you can't do it yourself. Why can't you lift up, the Looney Tunes by yourself? So we get that, and I was like, okay. So either LeBron, said, hey, put that in there because, people like to make fun of that. That could be funny, or whatever. Because there were some, shots or whatever that resembled things that became memes and whatnot.
I think you're looking at this as a sports fan.
I'm not looking at it as a sports fan. I'm looking at it as I want my Looney Tunes and insert basketball player and the Monstars. But the Monstars aren't even in it. It's the Goon Squad because we're too lazy to come up with something funny.
Space Jam 1.
Huh?
You wanted a retread of Space Jam 1.
Not necessarily. I don't want Ready Player One. That's what I know for sure.
See,
I don't want Ready Player One in this movie.
I thought it was more Wreck-It Ralph. It looks like more Wreck-It Ralph.
Same. And then Don Cheadle plays this AI guy. Why?
Why not?
Why?
Because he's War Machine. That's why.
It's dumb. It's stupid.
That's literally why. He's in there because people are going to go, oh, look, War Machine. I'm going to do it.
Reminds me of a certain individual I used to know trying to make a film. That's what this movie reminds me of, okay? And I won't say names.
No. How dare you?
I won't say names.
This is so much better than that.
This is not.
This is Ryan Coogler's name attached.
Because at least there's some charm with the other ones. This one makes me want to take a loaded gun, take all the bullets out besides one, and play Russian roulette with myself until I lose.
Can I ask you something?
What?
Do you think it's possible that this could have just been a bad trailer?
No, because this is exactly what I've heard.
We've seen bad trailers for good movies before. This is what I heard too, but I was always like endeared by the concept of it. No, I want to go into the Warner Brothers universe that exists here. There's a rich mythology.
This isn't Space Jam. Just don't call it Space Jam. Just make a basketball movie with LeBron. Just do that.
I understand. I understand.
Just do that.
But
this is
Looney
Space
Tunes
Jam.
is what makes it Space Jam.
Yeah, but hey, you could have had the Looney Tunes in the movie too. Just call it something different. It could have been its own thing.
He's going to play basketball with Superman. I think that's his dream team. And
I know. That's him trying to recruit players because he tried to recruit players in real life and couldn't get some of them. So he's trying to do it. It's a little nod at, him trying to build super teams because he can't win a ring by himself outside of one. Anyway.
I was thinking more Olympics.
No.
What about Olympics?
This is whatever. But
what about
no.
Good question.
No. So the movie, and here's the thing: if like the jokes they were throwing in there, because they were trying to throw jokes in there, were funny, okay, that's one thing. And they have scenes with the CGI Looney Tunes. It looks bad. Okay. It looks real bad. It doesn't look good. You could pause the trailer at multiple moments, and you could tell it's like they kind of just threw it together because hey, kids are gonna see this. They don't care about CGI, so let's just do this crap. It's like they didn't even try. It's not the worst. It's not Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but as Nikki gets annihilated, but it's still pretty bad CGI. They're basically just like, hey, we have Space Jam, we have LeBron, we're going to put the Looney Tunes in there. Let's just throw every single Warner Brothers character in there that we own. Let's throw the Joker in there. Let's throw Pennywise in there. Let's throw the fucking Hanna-Barbera characters. Let's throw them in there. Let's throw all these people in there. Let's just remake Ready Player One, but in Space Jam. And then we'll just call it a movie. See, Nicky has no rebuttal, so he had to leave because he knew he couldn't fight back because this movie is going to be complete ass.
Okay, hold up. Sorry, I zoned out for a second to actually watch the trailer.
It's bad.
Where did he go?
He had no comeback, so he just left.
Okay, there he is. I didn't know what actually happened.
I couldn't keep listening to that blasphemy. I think
terrible.
Okay, all right. We're done with this.
Slander Hollywood, Nikki.
I'm just expecting a fun kids movie.
It's not going to be fun.
All right.
I'd rather have shit wiped in my mouth than watch this movie.
Well,
I'll watch it. You don't have to review it.
Who am I?
Thank you. Huh?
I thought the trailer was
4.5 minutes over.
It's absolute garbage. But the CG doesn't look great for the Looney Tunes, though. That's another thing. It's like maybe it'll look better when the movie comes out. The movie comes out what, July?
What if there's a Sonic type thing that happens there, though? People hear what you're saying. They say we don't like how CGI the Looney Tunes are. Just make them look like the Looney Tunes, and then they
not
listen.
At this point.
If it's going to be the Sonic thing, they'll just take out all the WB characters and make it an actual Space Jam movie instead of let's just throw all this shit in.
No Sonic movement happening with this movie.
No, it won't.
Sonic was
hurt.
Sonic was cheap compared to this. They could do that. They had no problem. It was one character.
True.
They're not going to redo that with an entire. I'm going to move us on in a second.
I'm sorry, Beer. I wish you
got off.
I don't know.
You had no comeback because you know it's shit.
I don't know who hurt you.
No, I just have nothing else to say. It's LeBron, it's the Looney Tunes,
and I like LeBron. Let me make that clear. I like LeBron. It's just this trailer.
What will clear the air and clear the anger?
Oh no, I'm not angry. I just feel bad.
5 minutes of me ranting on about DC movie news. We'll be back in just a second.
Oh, great.
All right, folks, sit back and enjoy. This one's going to be a bit of a long one, but no infinite amount of practice could help me nail this, so here we go. This week, not one, but two distinct trailers for James Gunn's upcoming project, The Suicide Squad, dropped. The film, which showcases some returning and a lot of new Suicide Squad members, are going to be going to South America to destroy a Nazi laboratory. The film showcases its R-rated action through kills from King Shark and its R-rated comedy through interactions with the cast in a Red Band trailer, which was shortly followed by a more serious and less grotesque and penis-filled Green Band trailer. The film stars an ensemble that is led by Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena, Joel Kinnaman, and is set to be released on August 6th, 2021 on HBO Max and in theaters. The Flash has been busy casting this week, filling out as it begins to film. First up, actor Billy Crudup, who portrayed Henry Allen in Zack Snyder's Justice League, had to drop out of the film after the new dates conflicted with already scheduled filming for his Apple TV show, The Morning Show. Quickly following that, Office Space actor Ron Livingston was cast in the role to play his father in the spin-off film. Following this, 4 more actors were added over the course of the week. Pan's Labyrinth actress Maribel Verdú was added as Barry's mother. Actor Ian Lowe was cast as a young Barry Allen, and actors Saoirse Monica Jackson and Rudy Mancuso were cast in undisclosed roles. On top of all the confirmations this week, actor Michael Keaton came out in an interview with Variety and confirmed that he had in fact been offered a role within the film. However, he has yet to confirm with the studio if he will return and has not signed on. The studio has given him right up until production to make that decision, as he admitted some doubt about wanting to return to the role that made him famous. He won't have too long left to decide, as the film is set to begin production in a little bit till release next year on November 4th, 2022. Speaking of The Flash, the CW show The Flash announced a special casting for their upcoming anniversary. Former Disney and Broadway star Jordan Fisher was announced this week as joining the show in a recurring capacity for season 7 as speedster Bart Allen. In the show, Bart will be the son of Barry and Alan and Iris West in the new timeline that was created after their previous daughter Nora had been erased. Not much else is known about how he'll join the show or what role he'll play, but it'll be a little bit of a wait, as he will not join the cast until the series' 150th episode, which will be episode 17 of season 7. And finally, DC spent the last week giving some projects the green light while shutting down others. Starting off with the positive, Static Shock took one major step forward. The film's producer, Michael B. Jordan, announced that director-producer Reginald Hudlin would be helping write the film. I read that backwards. Reginald Hudlin would be joining as a producer on the film with Jordan, and with him, writer Randy McKinnon, who wrote the Disney Plus football drama film Safety last year, which was directed by Hudlin, had joined the film as his writer. If that doesn't make sense, I'll just explain it in person. The film currently has no release date and is actively being worked on to release as soon as possible. Alongside it, fresh off multiple nominations for her directorial debut of Promising Young Woman, writer Emerald Fennell has been tapped by DC to write the screenplay for the upcoming film focused on Zatanna. Variety confirmed this alongside the fact that the film will be produced by J.J. Abrams through his Bad Robot Company in association with the deal they have with Warner. This is the third Abrams Bad Robot production that's been announced, with the studio having previously confirmed they would be resurrecting the Justice League Dark concept for HBO Max, and of course the previously announced Superman film with writer Ta-Nehisi Coates taking on the script. It is currently unknown if Fennell will also direct the film. Meanwhile, DC reported directly to THR in what was a potentially sick but ended up being real April Fool's joke that they had ended pre-production on 2 upcoming projects, The Trench and New Gods. Both were originally greenlit in 2018 and come to an end over 2 years later. For The Trench, Warner simply believes that there isn't enough there for a full project after considering both a film and moving it to an HBO Max series. Some of the deep sea exploration concepts will be used for Aquaman 2, and DC has said that the cancellation of this film does not write off other potential Atlantean-related spin-offs, just an end for this project. As for New Gods, though the official source that put all this to THR did not comment, other unofficial sources in the company seem to indicate that because certain characters that will appear in New Gods also appeared in Zack Snyder's Justice League, including Darkseid himself, their larger roles in New Gods and the direct vision that writer-director Ava DuVernay and writer Tom King were creating for them may not have been what Snyder envisioned. As such, and more than likely mixed with the reactions of fans to Zack Snyder's Justice League, which we'll get to later, DC and Warner felt it would be better to distance themselves from these characters while they're not actively out there than move forward on the project. It'll be interesting to see what comes of this and if anything ever comes from these 2 canceled projects.
Yeah. So those 2 last stories, those are really very similar with the Justice League Dark, Zatanna, and the New Gods Trench movies, because they were announcing those movies back when they were being so reactionary. Oh, look how much of a big hit Aquaman is. They're going to do The Trench. Ooh, look at this. They're going to do New Gods. Right when they announced those movies, I said right away, those movies are not going to come out. I never had faith that those movies were going to make any sort of release date, any sort of production schedule. I never thought those movies would start shooting. Now, when you mentioned the Zatanna thing, I turned to Devin and I said right away, that movie's not going to happen. And then you said Bad Robot. That is the key right there. That is the difference between what they were doing with New Gods in The Trench and what they're doing with JJ and these Justice League Dark characters. They've been trying to get a Justice League Dark universe, Constantine type thing with Zatanna, Constantine, all the magical Swamp Thing even off the ground for years. It's probably not going to be called Justice League Dark because that has some implications to it. But Bad Robot is what gives me faith that this one will actually start shooting, because I don't think they would do this big deal with JJ. They signed him to a production deal. He's kind of taking over these independent DC projects. So I think these 2, especially the Zatanna one on its own, I think we're actually going to get to see that one. That one's actually going to happen.
Yeah, and I think there's the difference between the 2, like New Gods and Zatanna, is which again, I think it's a great choice to bring in Emerald Fennell. She's hot in Hollywood right now, fresh off Oscar nominations for writing and directing. So she's hot in Hollywood. People want her. So it's a smart idea to get her in. They got Ava DuVernay off of she was fresh off A Wrinkle in Time, which was an absolute failure on all levels. So
could not save that movie.
Then no one could save that movie. Yeah. Oprah couldn't save that movie. And so yeah, I think she's a great choice. I think she'll bring, especially because Promising Young Woman is a movie that's about a very charismatic, very sex forward, sex positive woman.
Zatanna is a promising young woman.
Yeah, I think they'll bring it's a very on the nose choice, but I think it is a good choice to kind of bring her in and have her work on that. And yeah, I think Abrams is very passionate about the stuff he's putting together. It's one thing to say like, oh, Abrams will produce through his Bad Robot banner, but everything Abrams does through Bad Robot, he's very hands-on with still. It's not like he's off.
Look at a movie like Overlord. Overlord is like nothing Abrams had ever produced before. That movie is fantastic.
Well, even a lot of people don't realize that in the early stages of A Quiet Place, that was a Bad Robot film.
Yeah.
Because that was supposed to be a Cloverfield film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it separated and just went to Paramount in general. But he's very hands-on with the products that he's working on and the decisions that he's making. So I think that'll absolutely work with it. Let's go, Matt. You cool?
Huh?
We good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. You
want to talk about a Warner trailer you liked better?
Which one I liked more?
I mean, I'm sure you like either of these more than the aforementioned unnamed trailer.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
It's not hard to like, the slums more than hell. But no, I liked both trailers for Suicide Squad. Yes, I just saw the private chat. I was like, yes, indeed. So no, I like both.
Just saw it?
Yeah, I just saw it. I wasn't looking anywhere.
I wasn't looking either. I saw it like a minute and a half ago.
But
you were a little late on that response, Aaron. In our defense.
To be fair, I said to Beer before you came back, I zoned out to watch the trailer, and I look back up, and he's ranting, and you're gone, and I'm like, what happened?
I annihilated him. That's
he talked me to death.
Absolutely annihilated. But no, I think the Green Band is
other people died.
Green Band trailer is much better.
I like it.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. But the Green Band trailer I liked. I liked more than the Red Band trailer because the Red Band trailer kind of made me. I mean,
it's okay to be right sometimes too, Beer.
Because I am right.
Yeah, you are.
I am right.
About this, absolutely, not about the Mac Mini though.
I am right about the Mac Mini. I'm right about the the shit stain of a trailer, and then I'm right about the Suicide Squad.
Don't talk about the Red Band trailer like that. It wasn't that bad.
The Red Band trailer wasn't bad.
The Looney Tunes one.
I know. I'm trying to divert.
Not good tonally. Like, I don't like it as a trailer, but some of the shots in that trailer, like that shot of King Shark, like ripping the spine out of that is glorious. That is.
If you allow me, I'll switch brands temporarily on the channel, and I'll start bringing up some of the images, and I still have them all here.
But I thought you were talking about the other one for a second. I was like, what? No. But I thought there's that right there.
That one. I'll go through some of the shots while we're talking.
Yeah.
Red Band trailer I liked. Didn't love. Kind of worried me a little bit because it feels like there's gonna be jokes that were written by like a 6-year-old. When they find out what dicks are.
If I had to eat a island of penises to protect people, I would.
Yeah.
Why is there an island full of penises?
I don't know.
No.
The Green Band
for liberty. There's a difference.
For liberty, whatever. Whatever he says.
Right.
Wasn't a good joke.
Green Band trailer's much better though, and it kind of reminds me of the first trailer for the first one, which was the Green Band trailer, right? Where it was that more serious type tone and whatnot. And then the Red Band's like the following trailer, the Bohemian Rhapsody.
Our follow-up boy confirmed.
Right.
Sorry,
so
I just
probably dead.
I love that.
But no, so I think the Green Band trailer's better. The show for the Flash, I could give no fucks for.
So we still watch the Flash here. What I think is more interesting is this story that's kind of been buried. Is that David? I can't think of his name. The guy from Ant-Man and Suicide. He's
Machine.
Yeah, he has been on the Flash as the character Abracadabra. He's only made 2 appearances. His last appearance was in season 3, I believe, the Savitar season, and he had a really good appearance, like a strong episode for a villain of the week villain. And I always remembered it. And as soon as I saw him get cast in Suicide Squad, I'm like, okay, we're never going to see him on the Flash again. But lo and behold, he was on the Flash like 2 weeks ago. Spoiler alert for a show you guys don't watch. They killed him off, making very clear. We are not going back to this character. This actor's in Polka Dot Man. He's Suicide Squad now. I just thought that was interesting because in the past, if there's been an actor or a character that's crossed over, they would kind of distance themselves. Because Suicide Squad, that was supposed to be a spin-off show on the CW with like David Ramsey, John Diggle, Harbinger, Amanda Waller, and then that got completely scrapped and pushed out of the way by higher up Warner Brothers because they were making a Suicide Squad movie. So I just like to see what DC is doing now. They're not doing that anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And can I just say, I like him in the Ant-Man movies. I've seen him pop up in other small things and enjoyed him. In terms of the Red Band trailer, I thought he had the best joke of that Red Band trailer, which is when they're in the auditorium and Idris Elba's like, "We're all gonna fucking die." Yeah, it cuts to him. It's in both, but he cuts to him and he's like, "I hope so." Oh, bloody hell!
I love that.
That was the best joke of the Red Band trailer, and it played in the Green Band trailer. Like I'm in line with you. I thought the Red Band trailer was fine, but it put off a really weird tone, and it makes me because like one of the things that I liked about Guardians is it's very clear that it's written by an R-rated writer who's forced to restrain himself to PG-13. Right. That's the best joke. That's the best joke of the first film, and it's because you're forced to restrain yourself. You have to get more creative.
Yeah.
You know, if he was R-rated, then he could have just said, "Oh, you should put a black light on this place. I fucking painted with semen everywhere." But you have to get creative with the delivery, and like the Jackson Pollock painting is a great way.
But like that Prince you always bring up with the Animaniacs. There's this joke Devin always brings up on the anime. You tell it because I don't. I always.
Oh, I've been watching that show recently. Yeah, go ahead.
But it's an old Animaniacs joke where somebody says we need to get their fingerprints or something like that.
And then one of the characters pulls out Prince. And
the fingerprints,
fingering Prince.
Fingerprints.
You can get dirty and suggestive in a PG movie. You just got to do it in a way.
Listen, Animaniacs. One of the Animaniacs. They're I've actually been watching the old series on Hulu recently. Yeah. They're the king of that shit. I mean, one of their running jokes was the teenage. Thank you. The teenage boys' eyes pop out of their head. Hello, nurse. It's like that never fly nowadays, but it's a running joke on this show, which I think is incredible.
Well, you can get a lot if you're a kid in a hospital. Like you can do a lot of hello nurses. I did a couple hello nurses. In my day.
The fun fact: the guy who voices the shorter of the brothers, I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
Which it's either Yakko or Wacko. I don't remember which.
Isn't it? Is it Jess Harnell? Right? Is that his name?
Yeah, Jess Harnell. Also voices Ironhide in the Michael Bay Transformers movie.
Yes.
That's a horrible character. I just hate the Transformers in the Transformers. Like I'm the opposite of people when it comes to the Transformers movie. The human stuff is what brings me back. The fighting robots I like to watch. I hate their personalities. They have horrible personalities.
What do you mean? Rough and tumble, I'm choking on a dick. John Goodman didn't do it for you.
That's a joke too. Like they're just SpongeBob voices.
Tom Kenny.
It's so.
Tom Kenny's in them. Yeah.
My favorite voiceover that we have ever had in a Transformers movie, just because we're saying, what's the Maze Runner kid's name that fell off?
Oh, Dylan O'Brien.
Dylan O'Brien. He is the best voiceover we ever got because he actually sounded like a character and not a caricature. Like for the short time in a
no, he was good. I thought he was. I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was in it, but when he showed up, I was like, "Oh fucking hell!" Okay, cool.
No, and he was good as that because he sounded like a soldier. He sounded like somebody that was in the army that actually had a personality instead of just, hey, it's the voice you love from the animated series.
Plus, he needed work.
To Devin for a long time that I think they need to separate themselves from that and go full on performance capture. Get somebody like a Lawrence Fishburne or like that to play Optimus Prime.
Jess Harnell isn't in the original show, but he's a voice actor. He's a professional voice actor.
Professional voice.
Okay. I gotta go take my dog out real quick. But
go ahead.
I'm sure you guys will be on a different topic when I'm back. But real quick,
I'll bring the Baha so that we
the
can
cancellations, all that stuff that DC's done, all the changes. I could give two shits about their movies at this point. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Batman, Suicide Squad because of James Gunn. Even though I'm a little worried that the tone is going to be a little too funny. But yeah, the movies. I couldn't care for Satana. I couldn't care for the Flash. I don't give a fuck about any of the movies at all.
If you see a trailer that blows you away, will you change your mind?
Because it's not going to matter at the end of the day because they're just going to cancel any sequels.
You're going in though with a closed mind. You got to see what they deliver.
They got to prove it otherwise that they could actually continue a story without saying, "Oh, chop, 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 chop." You know, so.
I agree with you on that. It's just the thing about Zatanna is that that's far enough away.
I didn't like Promising Young Woman too, so I'll be right back.
Well, that's
fair. That's fair if you're not a fan of them.
Doesn't like Promising Young Women, and all you Promising Young Women out there know that I am your friend and Beer is your enemy, and he is not here to defend himself. So One thing that so with the Flash Impulse story,
Go ahead.
Devin's biggest takeaway, you said it, was that it's his son and not his grandson. It's usually his grandson in the comic.
Yes.
There's some people that are in uproar like, oh, he doesn't look like the comic book character. Hey, guys, guess what?
Iris is black
married
this time.
black woman. So his son's going to be black.
Yeah.
Wait, get used to it. That's what these characters are going to look like.
And I'm pretty sure the actor playing him is a mix in real life.
Yeah, no, and that's
So-
great because the actrors they played.
You look more mixed than I did.
Yeah, the
True.
actors that
I would never
played-
have guessed you were black.
The actors. Look at his hair. The actress that plays Nora is looks like she could be Barry and Iris's daughter. Like she.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
And they do a really good job with that. And they do a great job with casting on these. He was the kid from High School Musical, right?
No, he's not in High School Musical.
What is he from?
He's been on Disney Channel. I forget what specific movies he's been in, but he was on Disney Channel. He did a couple of their movies. He did a guest run on one of their shows.
Okay.
He's done a bit of Broadway work. He worked on the soundtrack for Moana. I know he had a song on that soundtrack.
It's actually a prerequisite for the Arrowverse. You have to be able to sing.
Yeah, which is very weird. I've noticed that.
Weird because they did that like musical
musical
crossover.
episode.
They had like
Crossover with
Victor
the noise.
Garber and John Berryman, and it's not a good episode of The Flash or Supergirl. Actually, no, I take that back because there's a good scene where Martian Manhunter, Kid Flash, and Vibe take down like this earthquake villain, and that's a great like sequence. But the musical element of it, if you're a fan of like Glee, which like Flash and Supergirl, the actors that play them,
Grant Gustin and
Grant
Melissa
Gustin
Benoist
and
both
Benoist,
came from
they
Glee.
started on that show on Glee.
Yes.
They started up like their TV careers really took off from that show.
She
And
was
it's
a
just
lead on that show, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, Melissa Benoist was a lead. Grant Gustin was a recurring guest, but he was great. And then when it comes to casting for the Arrowverse, every single actor like on that show has either been from Glee or like Prison Break. They take a lot of people from Prison Break too. So you have pretty much everybody that was on the cast of Prison Break plays a villain in the Arrowverse, and then everybody that was on Glee plays some sort of hero.
Do you think we'll see Jane Lynch?
I would love to see Jane Lynch. Have her be Granny Goodness. She'd be perfect Granny Goodness. Yeah. No, that'd be good.
That'd be great.
Speaking of Granny Goodness, we see like that animated model that we see in the Snyder Cut. Like obviously it's not an actor, it's like an animated model. But I see that I'm like, Gwendolyn Christie. Gwendolyn Christie would be a perfect Granny Goodness based on that model alone.
I thought that was a person.
No, that's fake.
No, it is. It's an actress. It's a stunt. It's
it's an actress. I thought it was
stunt
fake. I thought it was CGI and mocap.
No, it's a stunt double.
Really? That's animated. Nah.
It's a stunt double. They animated over somebody, but it's somebody
They
standing
didn't
there
animate
forever.
over somebody because all this stuff was done after the fact.
They did reshoots.
Stuff. So did they get a person for Darkseid to do the
Ray Porter is the actor who plays Darkseid. Yes.
Who?
Ray Porter is the gentleman's name.
I
He's a
think
very
Ray
small. He's a small-time actor. His name's Ray Porter. Yes, there is an actor.
So you didn't mention it, but we did get a little bit of new Snyder Cut news because that we live in a society scene that everybody's like, oh, it's not even in the movie. They released it on YouTube. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I wouldn't have called that news, but it happened.
It's not news. It happened. What I just think is funny is that there's still stuff that we haven't seen. And what's kind of an interesting tidbit that I learned from my father today was that Jared Leto had a mustache during that scene.
Yeah, probably because he had facial hair in
They
the
CGI'd
little.
it out. They CGI'd it out, and none of us noticed.
Because they put
Yes, they did it right.
They did it right, yeah. So like you can do that if you do it right. But the whole entire point of him having the mustache was that he wanted to take elements from each and every Joker that had come before him for this specific performance. I just think that's a cool bit of information.
Well, we do have something related to the Snyder Cut, and we're not done with DC. That was an overpacked video to hell, but there's still more DC news. So let's go ahead and intro it and talk about it. This week, Warner Media Studios CEO Ann Sarnoff held fast to the stance that Zack Snyder's Justice League would not receive a sequel after the internet lit up in a hashtag Restore the Snyderverse storm. Sarnoff stated that while she is happy with the film, that the film ended up being made, and that Snyder did get to see his version of Justice League to completion after mistakes previously made by Warner. For those who aren't aware, Sarnoff did not take over Warner until the summer of 2019, and thus was not previously involved in the company's dealings during the production of the film. However, this was the end of his initial contract that was signed with Warner, and they currently have no plans to bring him back and continue it, instead focusing on the individual stories of characters, some set within the DCEU, obviously, and others in their own worlds. Following this comment, Ann Sarnoff sadly pissed off the rest of the active internet who weren't already mad by following up and confirming that unlike Justice League, there would be no David Ayer Suicide Squad. According to Sarnoff, it's pretty plain and simple. It's not something they'd ever considered before, during, or after Zack Snyder's Justice League, and they won't consider it going forward. There was no further elaboration on the topic. Despite all the negative news this week, fans of hashtag Restore the Snyderverse were not quietly going into that good night, however. Following these comments, the fans began a social media movement that included review bombing Warner Brothers' upcoming release Godzilla vs. Kong with 1 out of 10 ratings on IMDb, and flooding the pages with hashtag Restore the Snyderverse, as well as calls to boycott the movie, and some even posted quotes from Snyder's films. Though in actuality, it does not have an effect on the movie in any sort of way. Obviously, fan reviews are what they will be. The movement garnered much negative reception from the general audience, including Snyder himself, who asked fans to not continue doing it, going further to state that bashing other artists' work will not bring his work back. It should be stated that the couple screenshots I have on screen for you guys are a little unclear and lacking in content, because since I wrote the story, IMDb has actually removed pretty much every comment from the board and most likely blocked the accounts. Back to happier stories, Shazam! Fury of the Gods announced that it had begun filming after years of pre-production and is set to release on July 29th, 2022. The movie also added 2 major additions to its cast in the form of Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan. Mirren joins playing the film's villain, Hespera, who is the daughter of the Greek god Atlas, one of the deities that Shazam draws its power from. THR also confirmed that Mirren's Hespera will have a connection to the recently casted Rachel Zegler, whose character has yet to be named. Brosnan, meanwhile, will be playing Dr. Fate, a member of the now confirmed Justice Society lineup. He will be joined by the previously announced Aldous Hodge as Hawkman, Noah Centineo as Atom Smasher, and Contessa Swindell as Cyclone. It is unknown how big Brosnan's role will be within the new film, but both of these are great additions to an already great cast. The film, which is being directed by Jaume Collet-Serra, is certainly now one of the more anticipated DC films of the future.
Okay, so Snyderverse fans, I'm looking at you. I'm talking to you guys right now. I understand what you're doing. I understand your motives. Don't be a social media terrorist to get what you want done. This Snyder Cut movement. I remember I was on this show. Aaron, you hadn't joined us yet, but it was around March, February of last year, where I was saying we're getting the Snyder Cut. Everybody who was on the panel that night, I think except for maybe Graham, told me no, that's not happening. They can say all they want over at DC, over at Warner Brothers, that the Snyder Cut is like the sequel to that is not happening. Calm down, everyone. Be positive. Keep spreading that hashtag. Keep watching it on HBO Max. Even if you're not going to be in the house, just play it on HBO Max. We will get their attention. They will make a sequel to the Snyder Cut, no matter what they say over at Warner Brothers. Because guess what? Warner Brothers restructures their front office more than a sports team, more than the Dallas Cowboys, more than the New England Patriots, who doesn't restructure their front office. I digress. But we will get a sequel to the Snyder Cut one way or another, because Warner Brothers has no say in the matter, since they have a parent company. They have a parent company that is AT&T, which supports the HBO Max service, which if you have AT&T wireless, apparently you get HBO Max for free, which I did not know, so I bought it anyway. But that's all you have to do. If you got HBO Max for the Snyder Cut, the best way to respond to this news, I think, and this is a very polite way to do it, unsubscribe from HBO Max. Unsubscribe to HBO Max, contact them, send them the letter after your announcement that there will not be a sequel to this night. We're going to do this old school. We're going to do a letter writing campaign. So like go to the contact us in the HBO Max and tell them, because you're not doing a sequel to the Snyder Cut, I'm not going to stay subscribed to your service. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I implore you to do. Please be nice about it. Don't denounce Godzilla versus King Kong. Don't bring that in it. It's a pretty good movie. I think I'm the only one on the panel that's seen it so far.
Still holding out for theaters.
You're gonna wait till theaters.
Probably during the week. There are some small theaters near me that have been busy because of this film, but like on a Monday afternoon, probably won't be that busy.
See, around here, Monday afternoons, the theaters aren't open. Like the theaters are only open for like 5 o'clock on showings around here.
Oh, I know some that are. So
really a bummer. But I wanted to see it in theaters. I didn't see it in theaters. I watched it on HBO Max. It's a good movie. It's better than the other movies in this series, I think, just to give my quick thoughts. I understand your motive because they are burying it. HBO Max, and Warner Brothers, like top tier Warner Brothers, they are burying the Snyder Cut, and they intended to bury it because when they announced the whole coming to HBO Max thing for the Snyder Cut and for those movies that are straight to digital on HBO Max and straight to the theaters at the same time, they could have moved Godzilla versus Kong forward to a point where it could have had a full theatrical release, but they didn't. And the reason they didn't, I think, is largely because they wanted to hurt the Snyder Cut. But AT&T, which is the big boss here, Beer even said a couple weeks ago, I believe, they like the Snyder Cut. They're listening to the Snyder Cut fans. We will get a sequel to the Snyder Cut. I promise you that. And then the other
it was Rexosaurus joins us in a second.
What was the other story?
I'll bring it up in a sec.
Sorry, I got on a Snyder tangent because I don't like the way people are behaving. Don't bully people. Bullying people is why the Snyder Cut didn't come out the first time around. All right, so you got to be careful of how you treat people because you don't know how they're going to react to it. Don't bully others. There was a huge anti-suicide, get the help, call, get help. This is not the movie to be negative on.
I respect your passion.
Positivity.
I respect your positivity. I respect your outlook for potential happiness.
It's going to happen.
However, I personally don't believe they'll make it. I think, and
Why?
Again, Jesus, Matt, what are you doing? That's more effort than it's worth.
I don't know what that is. But here's
a T-Rex costume. It's a T-Rex costume.
Warner Brothers now won't be in charge of Warner Brothers in 2 years.
I don't think so, because the last guy was in charge for a while. The only reason, what was his name?
Walter Hamada?
But wasn't Hamada the guy that's in charge of DC?
Walton
Sujihara, Kevin Sujihara. The only reason Sujihara got terminated was because of the casting couch shit. Yeah, Warner Brothers, DC changes their front staff all the time. Warner is actually very consistent. The last few people who have held that title have held it for a while. Yeah. So I think Sarnoff's there for the long run. I don't think she'll be gone in a year. But
that's another thing nobody's talking about. They don't have to involve Zack Snyder to have a sequel to this version of Justice League. Because I don't think they're going to reboot Justice League. I don't think you're going to have a different Justice League. I think it's going to be the same we're keeping Momoa, we're keeping Gal Gadot. It seems like we're keeping Ezra Miller too. J.J. Abrams could come in and
Fisher will never be back.
Justice League.
I don't think there's a world in which Fisher comes back.
I don't think there's a world that Fisher comes back either, but I hope there is because he's really good. Matt, what are you doing? Is that a dinosaur?
Yes, it is. It's a T-Rex.
Dinosaur costume.
Well, Alan couldn't join us tonight, but I mean, maybe that's him. We don't know.
I don't know what is he trying to be a Looney Tune now?
I don't know. Can he sit down
gone off the deep end
in that costume?
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Not easy.
He's trying to get his. He's clearly trying to get his headphones in because I see the wire dangling. And I saw.
Is it stuck on you?
I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think he can hear us either.
Oh, he's smiling. I think he can.
Oh, I can see him inside it. Oh, that's not a dinosaur. That's just beer. You guys, it's an illusion. So,
anyways,
I have the Baha Men San who let the dogs out here, but I don't want to get flagged. So I just want you guys to sing along with me. Who let the dogs out?
Who?
There we go. That's all I needed.
Okay. I don't think they'll make the Snyder Cut happen. The sequel. I think, unfortunately, by the way that everything's happened, I think the idea of a Snyder-led Justice League in this sense is the epitome of every failure they've had thus far.
Aaron, the bell has already been rung.
Yeah, they said that 5 years ago, and look where we are. We're still not out of phase one.
It happened. We did it. We got it.
We did it twice. One sucked.
Yes,
The other's on a streaming service.
Was wrong, and there was justice. The real justice of the Justice League is the justice for us, the fans.
Okay, so let's move on to something we can both agree on. There's no need to release an Ayer cut for that film.
No, not at all.
We can agree on that.
I would like it, but you don't have to release a whole new cut of the movies. Just release the deleted scenes that you took out of it. Have it be there's an extras section on HBO Max. Release the deleted scenes there, and then if people are really passionate about an Ayer cut, they can put it together themselves.
Right. Yeah. There's no need. That film from the ground up is a mess in so many places that I don't see how that can be fixed with like re-editing and whatever. And honestly,
soundtrack out.
Again, none of what happened with the Snyder Cut is confirmed, and I said this on our last show, based off all the interviews that have happened and everything that's been said, I very much believe what happened here was, because Snyder even said it himself, and I don't like this quote, but basically, I got told not to shoot, and then I went and shot anyways. I'm very much of the opinion that Snyder was given a budget, he was given a post option, he went and did other stuff anyways and overspent on them. I don't think this is anything. I don't think he will ever work with them again. And I don't think, and it's on them, not him.
Yeah.
He can sit there and say all he wants. Oh, I'd love to work with them again. I'd love to come back. But if you did overspend by $40 million.
But that's not even what I'm saying. I'm saying we get a sequel to this movie that just came out.
I don't think it'll ever be enough because the same people that are review bombing Godzilla versus Kong are the same people who are going to go, if it's not Snyder directing Snyder's vision, there will be hashtag restore Snyder to the Snyderverse. There will be another one.
If he's on as a producer, if
I don't
he's
think
on,
they'll want him there.
Yeah. But picking the producer, that's usually the executive. So Christopher Nolan is an executive producer on the Snyder Cut. He is listed as a producer on the Snyder Cut. He has split ties with Warner Brothers. He has cut ties with Warner Brothers. It's a producer credit in name only, pretty much. I think that the front office is fluctuating enough that it's still going to happen. But I want to talk about the Shazam news because Pierce Brosnan is Dr. Fate. That is fucking perfect. I would marry Helen Mirren tomorrow. I would.
I don't know. I would like to see a sequel. However, at the same time, and this isn't all the fans, we should clarify, not all the fans were toxic or anything. No, I don't recall you telling somebody, Nikki, that you hope their daughter, dies, or you're glad that it was a what's it called, a miscarriage,
Whoa, who said that?
Snyder fans, because Jody from Jody's Corner.
That is a very vocal, toxic minority. That's
exactly.
Not, I can't even call that Snyder fans, because guess what? There's American I equate this to terrorism. If we're looking at it in we're putting it in a lens, this is social media bullying terrorism is what this is. Right. They are creating loud attacks on targets. They targeted Godzilla versus Kong. They're we are going to attack that so that they notice us. Yeah. That's what terrorists do.
And you know what?
But here's the thing.
Here's the ultimate cue of how sad that is, though.
Yeah.
And it's another story we'll get to later. You can review bomb the film all you like. Godzilla versus Kong is single-handedly the most successful film since the pandemic began.
Now, there's two Chinese movies.
No one cares.
That made $800 million.
I'm talking blockbuster release.
It does have a lot to do.
I think they're blockbuster.
Vaccine.
They're blockbuster for China.
Wide release. China's been open full hand.
Yeah,
since
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because in the States, even though there's been this big spike, there is a lot of people who are vaccinated, and some of the people, not a lot of them, maybe not all of them, but people that are vaccinated, once they and their family, they know that they're safe, They don't care about the rest of the people. They just go out and watch Godzilla versus Kong, and they'll pack the theaters for it because they themselves are vaccinated, even though they can still spread it. So like that's one thing that I think does contribute to it. Is that
which is exactly why I stayed away. I didn't go because
that's why I didn't
sold out. Oh, so you've seen it?
No, I saw it. I just didn't go to the theater.
No, Matt.
So, yes, I did see it in theaters.
Oh, great.
Because of the popcorn. But I want you guys to guess really quick, just fun little guess. Name the number one movie worldwide this year.
It was 2020 or 2021?
2021.
In the world or domestically?
Worldwide.
Tom and Jerry.
It's a Chinese film.
You're right, Nikki, but can you guess the name?
No, I cannot.
Parasite?
No.
No,
the
I don't
movie. This came out this year. It's the highest grossing with an $821 million worldwide box office thing. Didn't come out in the U.S. Everywhere else it did. That was open. It is a movie called Hi Mom. That's what it's called. Hi Mom.
Yeah.
And it made $821 million.
That doesn't surprise me because without the American Hollywood cinema without the American Hollywood cinema being, I just dropped my bottle. Without the American Hollywood cinema releasing the big blockbuster movies, they're not being released overseas either. So these smaller Chinese films that are being homegrown overseas are getting more spotlight because there is nothing else that they can do. Black Widow is not playing. Star Wars is not playing. What?
July 9th.
July. Okay, well, yeah, but maybe.
Yeah, I think they will. I think this one.
I think they will because they announced the Disney Plus thing too.
Yeah. Right.
Which we'll get to.
But it's not
fun
releasing
fact,
that or then is what I'm saying. This year.
The number 5 movie worldwide is actually Endgame this year.
That doesn't surprise me because they
at 91.
Yep.
So is Avatar like number 2?
No, I think Avatar's still number 1 because it made 51 million.
No, not number 1 all time. He's talking about this year.
Of the year.
Oh, this year? No, Avatar is actually pretty low. It is number 11.
See,
for
as
this
many
year.
people that there are people that love that movie, and I'm not
fantastic.
mentioning them when I mention this. Most of the casual viewers of that movie, it's a one and done for them. They'll watch it. Oh yeah, I saw it. No, I don't have to see it again.
I'm talking about Avatar. Do you know how much it made opening weekend?
No, I know, and it's because of the 3D. The 3D is what sold that movie, which was absolutely.
How much do you think Avatar made opening weekend?
I believe it was $130 million.
No,
77 million.
Yeah, no, it had legs. I know it was low. And 130 million isn't low, but it's low for opening weekend standards last year.
Right. But I'm just glad it's number 1 worldwide.
Yeah. I just don't like with that movie.
Time.
I think it was the 3D that did a big deal with the movie, with people seeing movies that day, because 3D was making a comeback right then and there. They're like, oh my God, you got to see the 3D. And then I went and I saw the 3D, and frankly, I was disappointed by the 3D because I like the gimmicky 3D better because it's like, oh, look, it's coming right at me. And that movie, it's just cinematic 3D.
Person.
When it's cinematic 3D, it doesn't add anything. I'd just rather watch the movie with my glasses off. So when I saw that movie at home on the TV, I ended up liking it better than when I saw it in theaters.
No, I liked it more in theaters. Oh, I mean, that's a lie. I liked it about the same.
I liked it without the 3D. I
like it a lot.
I think it's a technical marvel, and I think it's one of the few 3Ds I've ever seen where to me, it was about world immersion. It did 3D better than so many other films did.
Yeah. Right. And it was really a pioneer in the return of 3D, if you will. Special effects. Yeah. And the cinema chains realized that they could charge more for a 3D movie than a non-3D movies. And that's really the real reason why 3D made a comeback. Not because of quality, but because of price point.
Maybe. But
yeah, so
I will agree with Chris's comment. The last one. Not the one above it. But the last one. No, Nobody was great. I love that movie. It's so good.
Oh, Nobody. Yes. I thought he was saying Nobody's great. I'm like, well, you're not great either, Chris. Come on.
Oh, that movie's so good. I love it so much.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it available on
really like it.
No, you have to see it in
Not
theaters.
yet.
And I had so much fun in theaters. Christopher Lloyd in the movie was great. There's that one scene, I think it's the second or third scene in the movie at the nursing home. When I think you know what I'm talking about. It's so good. I love it. I absolutely love that movie. It's so good. I had Zack Snyder's Justice League ahead of it. I think I got to put Nobody now ahead of Justice League. I love it so much. It's so rewatchable. It's just better. And I'm glad Endgame is no longer number one worldwide all time. I am happy about
Nobody
that.
on my 2011 list.
No, that's toxic, man. Don't.
It's not toxic. I'm giving an opinion.
No, but be nice.
I didn't tell people to kill somebody.
No, you didn't. But just say you're happy that Avatar is number one. I can't
Nobody.
go see it.
So
I am happy
right now.
I did say that. I'm happy that is number one all time.
See it because
I'm happy it beat Endgame.
Okay, so because he brought both these movies up for 2012 thus far, I've seen 12 films that are technically 2021.
Yeah, you said 2012.
I've seen 12 films that technically qualify as 2021 films. Nobody is my number 3. Zack Snyder's Justice League is my number 8.
I've just watched Zack Snyder's Justice League 12 times.
I actually thought which I think I'm the only one here who's seen it because it got such a small release. But the movie City of Lies, Johnny Depp film, I thought that was actually better than Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
It's not the best.
You've seen a few more things than me.
And I honestly want to know.
Yeah.
Do you think the fact that you knew the overall plot, because Zack Snyder's Justice League, the plot's the same. Like the plot is beginning, middle, it's pretty much the same essentially. Do you think knowing the beginning, middle, and end of that movie affected your reaction to it?
No. My opinion, like as a critic with Zack Snyder's Justice League,
clean.
So I take the approach mentally of whatever you have expectation wise, check it at the door. Yeah. I'm the same person that between movie and experience gave The Force Awakens a 10 out of 10, and I knew Han Solo died walking into it. I had it spoiled for me. So
some people don't spoil the movie when you're walking to your car.
So that doesn't bother me. I can get around that. So knowing beat for beat that the plot was going to follow the same rough thing didn't affect me. And I did think it was better executed here. My issue with it was the runtime. I do just think it's too long a film, and I have to judge it on its own merits. I can't judge it as an extended cut because this is how they're choosing to release it.
But you knew that going in too.
I did, but I've seen long films that are better paced. Okay. Like so the way that I look at it is, and it counts because it's a part of the film.
No, it's fair.
I completely stand by. If you chop out the last half hour, take out that end credit shit, doesn't need to be there, chop that out. This movie's a 3.5 hour movie, right?
You can crop this down to 3 hours if you really.
If I run the 3.5 hour movie up against movies that I've seen just recently that are that long, whether it be Avengers Endgame, whether it be The Irishman, whether it be recently I rewatched The Wolf of Wall Street, which is about that long. It's not as well paced as any of those films. You feel the length in this one much more. That and I respect Snyder for sticking to his artistic visions. He has his way that he likes making his films, and I respect that he sticks to it. Doesn't always hit with me. Some of the action was way too slow-mo, speed up.
Right.
The Wonder Woman music beats got me every time.
But Devin said how much slow-mo is in the movie?
2 minutes and 32 seconds.
It's only 2 minutes and 32 seconds of slow-mo.
Yeah, but I feel it. Especially because a lot of it is so like it's 2 minutes of slow-mo, but I would say a minute of that is confined to one action sequence over a 4-hour film. And
there's a lot of Wonder Woman slow-mo. More Wonder Woman slow-mo than there's Flash slow-mo.
Because there are moments where the action scenes are perfect. I thought my favorite scene of the movie possibly is the middle scene, the middle action sequence when they're rescuing I forget that character's name, but Joe. I wasn't on the spoiler one, to be fair.
Oh, you weren't? Okay, well,
No. So the movie's not bad by any means. It's just, to me, there are certain things stylistically, the runtime, it detracts from it. That I have to rate it as it is.
You liked it, you didn't love it.
Yeah, exactly. I gave it a 7 out of 10. To be fair,
Yeah,
like if I go through my list, like of the 12.
Whoa. That is.
I disagree with that.
That is the most beautiful woman in the world.
So,
that is a beautiful scene.
To give you an idea of like where the year's at thus far, I've seen 12 films. I'd only call one of them bad, and I didn't even think it was all that bad. It was just very kiddish. I saw that.
Have you seen Cherry?
No, I have not yet.
Okay.
You will change your mind.
No, we're not talking about this.
No, fair enough. But like here, the 12 films I've seen, I won't go in depth on them, but the bottom one was that Netflix film Yes Day that they released. That's the worst film I've seen this year. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Then The Marksman, which was the Liam Neeson one, Tom and Jerry, Coming to America, Zack Snyder's Justice League, City of Lies, Long Weekend, which was this small indie film I saw, like a sci-fi romance film.
Yeah.
The Courier, which was the Benedict Cumberbatch one. Supernova, which had Stanley Tucci and what is his name? Fucking Harry Hart.
Colin Firth.
Thank you. Colin Firth. Nobody was number 3. Our Friend, which is the Casey Affleck, Jason Segel film, is number 2. And then my favorite film of the year so far is Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, good.
See, Raya and the Last Dragon, I liked the movie, but I didn't love the film.
See, Judas I count as 2020.
Yeah,
because it's consideration for their Oscars, so it's 2020.
Well, they're considering movies that came out up to March.
February 28th. But for the sake of cleanness, so I'm not, because I used to do it by release date, and then I went back through my list like years later, and I was like, the movie that won Best Picture for 2016 is high up my 2017 list because it technically didn't get a wide till 20. And I adjusted how I rate films.
It's like Kingsman. I didn't see Kingsman until like the calendar year after it came out. I was like, oh, that movie was last year.
When are we gonna see Kingsman?
That's
I don't
never coming out.
That's a later story in the show.
It's never coming out.
Before we move on to the next topic, I do want to touch on it because I just want to say, and this is another one of our friendly debate discussions we've had over time. I told you this movie was happening. They are filming. They have a director, they have a script, they have a cast. I was right.
They have Helen Mirren. No, I'm
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. I'm in love with Helen Mirren.
They have Helen Mirren and they have Pierce Brosnan to round out what is legitimately a great
Pierce Brosnan, Black Adam, right?
Oh, that movie.
Pierce Brosnan,
Black Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Helen Mirren's also Black Adam.
Shazam 2, I didn't think it was like my explanation for Shazam 2 is that I thought that they were not going to do a straight up sequel to the first Shazam. They're going to make another Shazam. Yeah. But I mean, that's here or there. I think more with that. And I still feel this way. I don't think like you're going to have like the Shazam family in the sequel, especially with a villain like Helen Mirren. Cause that's going to be some, you have me on board now. I wasn't on board before. I wasn't on board with Zach Levi, but God, I love Helen Mirren.
I still don't give a fuck. I just don't care anymore.
That's a good segue.
Yeah,
but I'm excited for the Batman.
And there was, so yeah, fuck it. Let's move on. Let's go to. We spent all this time talking about DC. Let's talk about their counterpart, which were slightly less in the news this week, but still in the news. Let's talk about it.
Zemo did.
The ever-expanding cast of Thor: Love and Thunder grows again this week after it was confirmed that 2 new cast members are on set filming. First, Jeff Goldblum was spotted on set reprising the role of the Grandmaster, a role he first portrayed in Thor: Ragnarok. It was also confirmed that Russell Crowe is on set filming. Though Marvel would not confirm what his role is in the film, they did say it'll be a smaller role that was originally meant to be a surprise for the audience. But after set photos were leaked showing him on set, they decided to confirm his involvement. The extent or importance of their roles is currently unknown, but they'll be seen alongside everyone and their mothers, except for Thor's mom, in this film when it drops in 2022. This week, Kevin Feige was asked about the possibility of a Young Avengers movie in the near future. Feige responded by saying that while we'll be seeing characters that could become Young Avengers over the course of the next set of MCU projects, some of which we've already seen, Whether the property itself comes together all depends on the fans and how they react to the use of those characters. Variety reported this week that a spin-off show of Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye is in the works, but it's not about the potential young Avenger, Kate Bishop. Instead, the series will be centered around the character of Echo, who will make her debut in the show, being portrayed by deaf actress Alaqua Cox. Echo is a Native American hero whose powers allow her to perfectly mimic her opponents. The show has also brought on Tropic Thunder co-writer Ethan Cohen and his wife Emily Bowen Cohen to write and executive produce the show. Though most of Cohen's work is within comedy, it is unknown if that is an indication for the tone of the show or if he will be stepping out of his comfort zone to do a more serious show. While being interviewed on Good Morning America, because of course they took advantage of that connection, John Walker actor Wyatt Russell was asked about what it was like to be the new Captain America in the MCU. During the interview, Russell revealed that he was actually one of many actors who was auditioned for the role of Steve Rogers before the first Captain America film back in 2009. Russell was very early on in his career and due to that didn't make it very far in the audition process, but he said he enjoyed the experience of auditioning for a big budget film and is now glad to be a part of the MCU, even if it's a different Captain America. And finally, prior to the release of episode 3 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which dropped last night, and a spoiler review of it from myself and Nikki is also up on the channel if you're interested in checking that out, lead writer Malcolm Spellman spoke about Emily Van Camp's agent Sharon Carter and the portrayal of the character within the show. Spellman said that the writers purposefully used the time gap since her last appearance and the fact that she spent 8 years on the run to almost completely reinvent her character from what we'd seen before. For those who weren't aware, in episode 2 of the show, not spoiling episode 3, they revealed that Carter did not receive the same pardon as her hero friends and had been on the run since Captain America Civil War. They also said they used the episode to further establish her skills as more than just a good agent, but as someone who had the ability to hang with heroes like Sam and Bucky in the process. For those who saw the episode, I certainly believe they brought this to fruition, and for those who don't, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is available for
just my comments on Emily Van Camp. I love her attitude. I love how jaded she is with the world. I want to move to Madripoor and party with her and Baron Zemo. Like that would be fun.
Yeah.
Beer wants to talk about Jeff Goldblum, but
that's all I was doing.
Russell Crowe.
Which can I say?
Russell Crowe is playing Thanos. Russell Crowe is playing Thanos.
I thought he was playing Jor-El.
No,
that actually could be.
You think he's playing Jor-El or Thanos?
No, Thanos.
Thanos. Okay.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think.
So, I was gonna say, I appreciate the very verbal and visual reactions to my joke there. I like that.
I just couldn't stop it. Once I was doing it, every time you had somebody come up, I was like, "Oh, Emily Van Camp, yes."
Emily Van Camp.
She's hanging like a spider down the
I wish you guys could. I'm talking about Nikki and Devin when I made the Thor's mom joke. Nikki just opens his mouth and Devin breaks
like,
his side.
Mom's dead. That was awful, man.
I'll be honest, I didn't even hear the joke because I was too much in Jeff Goldblum.
Yes,
yeah,
I said
I
made a joke about the film's wide cast. I said they'll be appearing alongside everyone and their mothers, except for Thor's mom.
Nice.
And Devin. It's awful. That's awful. You made Devin feel bad.
Yes.
Laughed at it.
He feels bad. Yes. Really bad.
It was funny.
I'm kind of sad that the Russell Crowe thing got ruined. Fucking paparazzi taking set pictures. That would have been an awesome surprise if he'd just shown up.
That would have been fun.
But yeah, it's
there, right?
Yeah, Matt Damon's there, and
Damon, Sam back, Luke Hemsworth's back. Ben Falcone's a part of that.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's going to be doing something with the theater.
Sam Neill, not just
so this is my prediction. Russell Crowe will play Thanos, like Nikki said. However, the story's going to change up because Thor's going to be like, "Oh, I killed Thanos." We're just going to go with that, and that's how the play is going to go.
He did kill Thanos. He cut his head off.
No, in Endgame, instead of Tony being the one that does it, it's going to be Thor ends up saying he actually was the one that snapped them out of the way, and he didn't disappear because he was so strong.
Thor does kill Thanos in Endgame. He cuts his head.
No,
Yeah, he does.
I'm not talking about
No,
that.
he does.
No,
he cuts his head
no.
off.
I know he cuts it off.
what did he do? I went for the head.
Nikki, I know.
So
Yes, yes, yes.
Goldblum, I assume you're excited about, Matt.
I'm pretty happy that Jeff Goldblum is back in this thing. I'm gonna work on my Goldblum thing a little more. I got the mannerisms, I think, but the voice is
Goldblum.
it needs work.
Yeah, I like both the castings. Whatever Russell Crowe's doing, I think it's a cool little addition.
Except singing. Don't sing.
You're no longer allowed on After Dark, Chris,
because
you're criticizing his incredible vocals.
His one cameo is going to be just the camera pans through Asgard, and it just pans by him as he goes, and I'm Javert.
Can we show that clip of him jumping off of like just falling off of the bridge or into the well? Because I love that.
Wow, I didn't think his singing was that bad.
Well, no. Here's the thing: he has a good voice and he sings well. It's just that style of music.
Nikki,
is
be
not
careful.
Nikki, be careful.
Now you're gone because you weren't careful. You were not careful.
He
Do
has
not
a
criticize.
song called "I Wanna Be Like Marlon Brando."
Yeah.
He has a song called "I
criticize
Want
him.
to Be Like Marlon Brando" when he was
Krypton?
in a band. And then, guys, his music is prophecy. He's done it. He's like Marlon Brando. He's Jarrell. He's from Krypton.
He's fat, making The Godfather, and not working properly.
No, but they were both Jarrell.
Oh, fair enough.
He wanted to be like Marlon Brando, and he was. He did it, guys.
You be careful, Chris, about what you type in there before you criticize the great Russell Crowe's vocal ability.
You don't need to be a good vocal performer to be a good lead man for a rock band. There are a lot of
they proved that.
have really shitty lead singers.
But Russell Crowe is a great singer.
He's okay.
You're gone again.
Okay. Here's why I don't think so. Can I explain to you? I am a better singer than Russell Crowe.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. Nobody's
yes,
better.
I am.
Devin,
Nobody's
ready
better.
to Hamilton.
Devin,
Yeah.
Hamilton doesn't have enough singing in it. I will give you something better.
The entire musical is just singing
I'm gonna give you Dream Girls
and
instead.
rapping. Both. It's both. Singing and rapping.
I don't want to rap. Or
He sings while he raps.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm better than Russell Crowe.
And you're gone again.
Jesus Christ.
Look at that.
So
It's my show now. Thank you. It's my show. Welcome to the Matt Show, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about how great Russell Crowe is as a vocal singer, how he was I will delete that.
I think we all just needed a timeout.
that was great.
Do not criticize him ever again.
I like Russell Crowe. I love him. He's from Krypton.
Don't criticize the singing.
Let's use this here. All right. So, what do we think, Matt? We talked about this privately beforehand, but what do you think about the Feige comments with the Young Avengers potentially?
It's him basically saying that if all the characters work, it's gonna happen. Like if as long works as in the audience.
Do you like it?
Do I? Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's not gonna be like it's
No,
one or the
they're
other.
not
It's gonna be
that
on
far
Disney
ahead.
Plus. I think either way.
But what do you want?
I mean, more content's better. So a series.
I think it fits better as a series. I don't think it fits as a movie because I think it would bomb as a movie.
Well, quality and money is different, and it could be a movie on Disney Plus. Like,
And they're putting money into Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier is high quality as anything they've ever put out there.
Yeah,
it's a
because they don't
movie.
have to do the premiere access or release in theaters. This could be a Disney Plus original movie, and then it won't matter financially.
Do it a series though, because the benefit of doing
I
the series,
prefer
is they do structure it. Even though Falcon and Winter Soldier, if you watch it, it will play out like a movie. But they do have sort of like cliffhangery. They format it to be 50 minutes each week. Yeah, the runtime dictates the story at times.
Yeah, it's like taking a movie script and finding natural breaks.
Yeah, it's like what they were going. That's why they ended up, I think, releasing for two reasons. Why they ended up releasing the Snyder Cut as a full movie, Also, 4 parts isn't financially feasible because it's 1 month on HBO Max anyway. But if you would just split that up into the parts where it cuts, it really wouldn't have played good as a series. Whereas Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's like, ooh, what's coming next week? Like this week and last week and the week before. So like first week we had Captain America, second week we had Daniel Bruhl, and then this week we had what we had this week in case anybody hasn't seen it.
Yeah, no spoilers just in case. But Matt, actually, if you want to briefly non-spoiler, and Devin, you can as well. You guys weren't with us last night. What are your thoughts on the episode?
Best episode of the season so far.
Okay. Devin?
Best action.
It was cool.
It was cool. Very cool.
The memes.
You like Rule's coat?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very nice coat.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very
Whatever
nice.
animal died to make that should be proud.
Box in it from the shoulder thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
good.
That was cool.
Yeah. He liked Brule's coat.
All right. So Matt says it's the best episode of the series. Devin not seeming as hot on it, but like the coat.
Oh no, that's just Devin.
And it's also better than anything in WandaVision. By a good amount.
I agree. I think every episode of the series has been better than WandaVision, but that's just because
Devin, the look on Devin's face says you haven't said that yet.
I disagree with this about the second episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier because that's the least favorite of mine of the season, and I think there's a few episodes of WandaVision.
Score is amazing.
Yes, it's
that's the biggest difference maker for this is that in WandaVision you had these period piece scores for every single episode, whereas this it's a consistent tone throughout. So you just have Henry Jackman's Winter Soldier and Civil War scores.
I haven't looked at the comments in a while. Chris criticizing him again. Why? He has a strong voice.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
I've
what do
seen
you guys
Mighty
think
Ducks, so I can't
about
comment on that.
the Echo series? I can't really comment on. It's based on a character we're not going to meet till December, I believe, is when the show comes out. So
from Les Mis to sing.
So I can't comment too much on that show. But what do you guys think of? Huh?
What did you say, Nick? Heard Les Mis.
I gotta find a song from Les Mis to sing.
Okay.
All right. So and then the other one, kind of the Wyatt Russell. What would you guys have thought if, like, 10 years ago, Wyatt Russell ended up being Captain America instead of Chris Evans?
Would have been much worse. It would have been much worse. It would have been bad. If he was. I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he fits the role he's playing right now. But no, Chris, you were talking about that. Okay. But anyway, I think he fits the John Walker role. I think he does a good job with that. But for Steve Rogers, I would have to see him like buffed up like Chris Evans was, because
I don't think he's ever been that. I don't think he's ever been that beefy.
Right.
He was pretty buff in 22 Jump Street for like the football player role.
Honestly,
he had a bit of
22 Jump Street.
Yeah, he had a bit of meat on him for Overlord. He's great in 22 Jump Street.
Speaking of meat, Overlord.
Yeah, he's got a bit of meat on him there.
Good movie.
But that character's honestly very John Walker-ish, so it kind of makes sense how he ended up in the role.
John Walker-ish, but it shows that somebody who is brutal like, because I don't think they're going to completely vilify John Walker.
No, I think he'll be a tragic. I think he'll be a tragic character by the end.
Because he's Kurt Russell's son, and we like him.
Chris.
Amazing if he was another son of Ego, and that's why he shows up with that shield.
That's like saying I'm a comic nerd when talking about comic book movies. You might be a theater, but when we're talking about the movie itself and hearing the voice of Russell Crowe and how massive and just brilliant and masculine it is.
Considering there was no auto-tune, I think that is a point to make in that movie. They recorded everything on set.
Can we all agree that Russell Crowe in Les Mis is at the very least better than anything Tom Hooper directed in Cats?
Yes.
That's
We
true.
can all agree.
But I don't want to hear this slander of I'm a theater nerd. I don't care. This is the movies.
Slander's not right, but I am a better singer.
Oh, nice. You saw it on Broadway. We're talking about the movies, Chris.
God,
We're talking about the movies. Because if we went with the comics, for example, with some of those characters and then played it exactly how they were, and then had, the people in the movies playing those characters, and they change nothing at all. Some of the people we wouldn't like in the movies because they don't really necessarily fit, but they change it to make it work.
I want to remind everyone that John Krasinski was cast as Steve Rogers before Chris Evans was.
No, he auditioned. He was never cast.
Are you kidding me?
Cast, and then because here's what I heard.
He was high up.
Kevin Feige always wanted Evans, but the studio did not want Evans because he had already been the Human Torch. That's why they wanted Krasinski, and then Feige had convinced them to go with Evans.
Yeah,
he was banned, Chris. You're banned from being on the show for
Jennifer
50 years.
And that's Dreamgirls.
Jennifer Hudson.
There.
Jennifer Hudson.
No,
she wasn't good in that movie though.
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't. That song wasn't a good performance. Honestly, if I'm being real,
you guys out.
It was a no in the movie in Cats, not Dreamgirls, in Cats. It was. Yeah. I mean, the engineers didn't help her. It was mixed. It was mixed horrendously. The music.
I forgot she was in that, so I thought you were talking about Dreamgirls.
Because she's
the music, overpowered her at times. Isn't she? She is in Dreamgirls. Yeah.
Yeah, she won an Oscar for that.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I thought you were talking about.
I'm not refuting that. The only thing I refute from Dreamgirls is Eddie Murphy should have had that Oscar.
Jennifer Hudson has a better voice than me.
Yes.
I will concede there.
She does. So does Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe does not.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
He absolutely does.
No, and I will. On that note, let's go ahead and move in.
Sing for me, Nikki. Prove it. Sing any random song.
I gotta learn the song first.
Let's go ahead and move into a topic while Nikki wants to sing that we can all be a little more happy with. This week, Disney confirmed the 12 lead actors that will appear in the upcoming limited Disney Plus series Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. The cast includes previous announctees Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, but also contains some big surprises. Actors Joel Edgerton and Bonnie Piesse will return as Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, the roles they originated in episodes 2 and 3. They will be joined by Moses Ingram, who is now rumored to be playing a younger version of Ahsoka Tano, as well as comedian Kumail Nanjiani, Straight Outta Compton co-star O'Shea Jackson Jr., Fast and Furious actor Sung Kang, Indira Varma, Rupert Friend, Simone Kessel, and Benny Safdie, an actor-director better known as one half of the Safdie brothers. No official word has been given on who any of the 8 additional actors will play, but fans are putting the trust in showrunner Deborah Chow to make this great ensemble look good when Obi-Wan airs in 2022. This week, we learned that the sequel to the 2007 film Enchanted, now officially titled Disenchanted, has entered production, and we've learned that more than just Amy Adams is back. She's being joined on set by Patrick Dempsey, Idina Menzel, and James Marsden, who are all back from the original film. And we also learned that the original's composer, Alan Menken, is back to score the film. This now means that all the leads are back for another fantastical adventure that director Adam Shackman will lead them on. It is currently unknown what the plot of the film is, but it'll be fun to have the crew back for another round of adventure. And finally, team morale is at an all-time low at Pixar Animation Studios. According to insider reports, the workers are feeling devalued at the moment due to their movies being moved to Disney Plus for free. Apparently, they feel that Disney is sending a message that their work is less valued than other big-budget releases. To add context to the story, after releasing previously theatrical works to Disney Plus last summer during the height of the pandemic for free, like Artemis Fowl, Hamilton, and the one and only Ivan, Disney made the decision to introduce a $30 premium access fee for Mulan, something that they've kept for every film going to D+ since, even if the film gets a theatrical release, with the exception of both Pixar releases, Soul and Luca, which went only to Disney Plus with no theatrical release or extra fee. Disney maintains that these being free are as a bonus to Disney Plus subscribers during special times of the year. Soul came out on Christmas Day, and Luca will be released at the start of the summer. However, it does make one wonder, and Pixar certainly is wondering, why another film from Disney's lineup hasn't been chosen for this special treatment. Even the recently released Raya and the Last Dragon, which came from Disney Animation, got a D+ premiere release and a theatrical release, and had a short film in front of it just for those who saw it in theaters, even though Disney discontinued theatrical shorts over 5 years ago. Whether or not Pixar likes it, Luca will release on June 18th, only on Disney+.
Guys, this is embarrassing. I mean, I've heard some dumb like fan theories over the weeks with like the White Vision being the power broker, but that actress playing Ahsoka Tano might be the dumbest theory I've ever heard in my life. If they just cast an actress to play Ahsoka Tano on an Ahsoka show. If they're going to have Ahsoka on the Obi-Wan show, you better believe it's going to be Rosario Dawson, because Disney is too smart for that. They're not going to cast a young Ahsoka. If they do anything, which they probably won't do anything, is they'll just de-age her a little bit. But they're not going to do that because she's already wearing a lot of makeup as it is. They might but look at Katie Sackhoff. Katie Sackhoff is playing Bo-Katan, and she looked like Katie Sackhoff aged in Clone Wars. Look at Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was Ewan McGregor in Revenge of the Sith, and then he ends up being Alec Guinness in A New Hope. So Star Wars, age doesn't happen in Star Wars. They are going, if Ahsoka Tano is an Obi-Wan Kenobi, if she is in that show, which I do think she will be played by Rosario Dawson.
So, if Ahsoka's in the show, it's going to be flashbacks. I doubt it would be modern in the show. It doesn't make sense based on kind of when it takes place.
So that actress makes sense.
But here's the thing. I don't know if it's going to be that actress necessarily, but if they do flashbacks during the Clone Wars era, for one, they're probably going to want to take advantage of the Ahsoka love as much as possible. Why would you have Rosario Dawson, who does not look like a 15-year-old or a 17-year-old?
Oh, that I understand.
You're going to cast
like
a kid
entirely. But like they're saying like a younger Ahsoka Tano 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. She's a woman.
No one has given context as to where she could play younger Ahsoka. That's just the theory. I actually agree with Matt, because they've said most of Hayden Christensen's screen time will be in flashbacks.
Who's they? Who said
Disney.
Disney.
They said that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Because why would we have
most of Hayden Christensen?
Because there's no point in casting Hayden Christensen if he's going to be in the costume. There's no point. Why? Get somebody cheaper.
Cast a stunt guy and
cast me.
Look at that cast though. He's second build.
Cast me.
That's not a billing. That's not an official billing order. That's just how they put them out.
I think people are reading too much into it.
It's flashbacks.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I think most of Hayden's screen time will be through flashbacks. I think if Ahsoka appears, at that point, you will want a younger person playing her. Whether or not it is the actress in question, Moses Ingram, or not, is yet to be seen. But I think they will. Like, Rosario Dawson clearly can't play a teenager. I'm very sure she's older than Hayden Christensen, and she might even be older than me.
Yeah, because why would you cast? So, with the whole de-aging thing, we saw how that worked out in Mandalorian with Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill was there, used to voice everything, and the CG not pretty at all. Maybe they didn't de-age him, but still, the CG not pretty at all.
Character either.
But here's the thing:
you know what humans look like.
The money would be way too much. We saw what The Irishman was.
Honey.
Great underage.
Even going to play a big role. If it is what you're saying in flashbacks, we'll see Ahsoka for like, oh look, there's Ahsoka, and like not an actual like speaking part even. And if
I don't think so, because she's a bigger part of the Clone Wars. What else would they flash to? It's the Clone Wars.
This is.
You don't look. You don't pull a Martin Scorsese with The Irishman.
But I'm just saying.
I'm just predicting. I'm not saying you're wrong for your idea. I'm not saying you're wrong for your idea.
So
I'm just saying that's not going to happen.
That's absolutely will happen. If Disney is smart, like you said,
I'm trying to find
they will take advantage of Ahsoka. Because for one, Hayden is going to be only in flashbacks. You might get one scene with the mask off. the helmet, which I don't really understand why you would, because this is called Obi-Wan Kenobi, not Obi-Wan and Anakin. Good comic book run, by the way. But the most we're going to see of Hayden for sure is going to be in the flashbacks. We're going to get flashbacks of Hayden because take advantage of it. You have the Clone Wars, which is a loved show in Star Wars. So go bring that to live action. So what's another thing beloved by the fans? Ahsoka.
I just don't.
I don't think Zendaya will be Ahsoka in the show.
No, it's just a rumor.
No.
Rumor that I'm
with Ashley.
Really young Ahsoka.
By the way, completely unrelated.
You could even dub over her with Ashley Eckstein if you wanted to.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah, dub her over.
This has nothing to do with anything we're talking about right now. I just remembered it and forgot to say it earlier in all the blind anger. After the trailer was put out, they officially confirmed that Zendaya is voicing the boobyless Lola Bunny in.
Why is she wasting her time?
Yeah, I didn't bring up the
waste of time for Zendaya.
I was making a joke. But anyways,
it's called the definition of I'm just doing this for a paycheck. This is the Bruce Willis in any action movie post 2000.
No, Looper was great.
We will see Ahsoka.
That's like the one time.
I think this rumor is true.
No, I think he tried in Die Hard 4. Die Hard 5 he did.
Maybe he tried in Die Hard 4.
He was still there.
He probably didn't try as much because it was PG-13, and he probably was like,
producers didn't try. Remember, this is an actual thing. You can look up the story and go back. Tim Tebow, quarterback of the New England Patriots at one time.
He tried his Christ-loving hard.
They said that he was rumored to be cast as Bruce Willis's son in that movie. That's how little the producers tried there. They were looking at Tim Tebow instead of Jai Courtney.
I don't think they
disrespect my Christ-loving quarterback like that.
I think they needed to put out a reason as to why he wasn't playing. Not that Tom Brady wasn't enough.
But the cast of Obi-Wan.
Yeah, no. So to get into the specific names, this really interested me.
Yes, it is.
The fact that they're bringing Joel Edgerton and I forget the actress's name, unfortunately. The fact that they're bringing them back is rather interesting. I can't imagine they're going to have a huge role, but the fact that they're back is cool. And I feel like this will very much be like The Mandalorian and honestly every show they've done thus far where the cinematic shows they're making, they don't have a need for a main cast. They just bill their stars by appearance. So yeah, they could only be in 1 or 2 episodes, but the rest of the cast, Kumail Nanjiani, what a interesting pick.
That was a surprise.
O'Shea Jackson Jr., great pick.
That's a great pick.
Sung Kang, I haven't seen him in very much, but he's one of the better actors in those Fast and Furious films. So sure, I'm happy to see him in something else. Yeah. And even the actors I don't completely recognize. I believe Indira Varma is a Bollywood actress. I know Rupert Friend is a British actor. Oh, was she? Okay, cool.
Yeah, she plays Pedro Pascal's wife or whatever in the show.
Oh, okay.
It's the queen of whatever.
Not the Queen of Dragons. So Queen of
No. It's in the more.
What was the place called?
The Queen of Pascal's ass. I don't know.
Yes,
she was the Queen of Dorne.
That might have been maybe. Yeah. I don't know. It's in a really nice weather place,
Concubine or something like that.
I never saw the show.
She has the daughter or whatever.
Concubine.
There you go, Devin. Thank you. You're smarter with vocabulary.
There's 2 kids.
Yeah, she wasn't officially married to because he was the Prince of Dorne. Pedro Pascal was the Prince of Dorne, and she was one of his many lovers.
Michael Dorne?
Yeah, her.
So Pedro Pascal took a look at his girlfriend and said, "The pussy is good, but it can be better."
No.
Well, no, he actually did it with a guy and her at the same time.
There was a joke.
There was still pussy there, so the joke worked.
No, it wasn't a joke. That happened. He grabbed him.
My joke worked. There was still pussy in that scenario.
No, she was in bed too.
It's good.
That's what I'm saying.
Name a DC movie that came out in December. Name a DC movie that came out in December.
No.
Name it.
Aquaman. Wonder Woman. This December.
It could be good, but it can be better. That one.
Yeah, that's good.
That joke. That's the joke.
No, there's a good joke where. No, I understand that.
Is the intro attached to the countdown, Nikki? Is the intro attached to the countdown?
So that didn't make any sense. That didn't make any sense because I have access to the YouTube page, so I don't know about that.
No, so
Correct.
hey guys, thank you.
Behind the
What's up?
scenes,
All the people
guys.
joining the chat,
Correct.
Bruce, Grant,
I like
JD.
1984.
I do
No,
not.
so
Okay.
we'll keep going.
We're allowed to like
Yeah,
different things.
I really like the Obi-Wan cast. I think it's a really
Yeah.
cool Benny Safdie. That was the other one. Like,
Yeah, I like it.
really? What the?
We all
All
like
right,
Pedro
cool.
Pascal.
I really like the cast they're putting together. It's really cool. It's really unique. It's really eclectic. I'm enjoying, looking forward to seeing it. And Matt's about to. Oh wait, Matt has no money on this game. Never mind.
No. This is not money on this game. That game's over. I got my money already.
So I'm so sucked in by what's happening. What are we?
Oh no.
What is going on, guys?
Oh no.
They're clearly butchering the law.
I have it on
Somebody's
mute, so I have
butchering-
no idea what the call was. I think it's a charge.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
The Obi-Wan cast. The Obi-Wan
They're
cast.
reviewing it. Okay.
No, Matt's
It's
betting
really
on
good.
sports games.
This
And,
has no money on the line. This will just be one of,
Oh.
if not the biggest upset in
the
college
co-
basketball history.
Okay.
So, moving on. Yeah, the Obi-Wan cast is great. Obviously, once we get the
No
show,
basketball.
some
I know.
trailers, we'll be able to
What's
get
it
more
called?
context
Hold
to
on.
it. But I'm really looking forward to that cast.
Me too. I'm looking forward to the
Uh,
show. I think it's mostly going to be Ewan just running around cutting people's arms off with a lightsaber. I think he is going to confront Darth Vader. And I think he is going to get a whack at the mask. Like we saw that in Rebels a little bit and some of the Force Unleashed games. And they said primarily in flashbacks. That means we will see him at some point in the Darth Vader costume. I think that Obi-Wan will get a good hit in where his mask will be chipped away, and then you'll be able to see the Anakin underneath the Vader.
Probably.
That'd be cool.
Um,
Remember when he was burning alive on Mustafar?
I do. I remember that. It was pretty visceral. Yeah. So
I've been lazy with the sound bites tonight. I have a lot of Anakin on here, and I just haven't used it.
to kind of talk about the other stuff. I put Enchanted in there. I didn't know what you guys thought about Enchanted. I think they just upset them. by the way
McDreamy's a
that-
race car driver.
No, he's calling foul. Clearly, he's speaking. This is entertaining as shit, if I'm being quite honest. No, so I put Enchanted in there.
How do you not call a fucking timeout there?
It's okay. It's okay.
Caught the ball,
McDreamy-
0.4 seconds left, could win the game.
No, so I
No
did think-
timeout. Great game. We're going to overtime.
We don't want
They
to talk
had an
about
opportunity to win the game there, but they didn't call timeout, even though they had one left. They got the ball because it was thrown in with 1.1 seconds left. Call timeout. You got like 0.7 to 0.4 seconds left. You can develop a play, and then you can go ahead. You can get a shot in there, win the game, and have the greatest upset in at least 30 years.
All right, Grant Gregory joining us right now. Grant Gregory, you don't want to talk about college basketball in America or Enchanted, right?
Well, hold on. Before we move on, I'll
I need to
I'm
get
sorry.
his answer. I
No,
asked
no,
you
I
a
was-
question, damn it.
I was about to address something before I got cut off by the basketball commentary. To answer the question that has been asked more than once in the comments, there has been no word on if Timothy Spall is involved with the film at all.
That's
Now,
okay.
Grant, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Please continue.
Grant
I forgot
takes
the question.
priority.
What was the question?
What do you think
Nikki?
about the Obi-Wan cast?
Yeah, I'm not interested.
He's not
The
interested. What
cast
were you
is
gonna
good, but I got no confidence in the studio or the writers or the directors, so I'll watch
Deborah
the
Chow.
pilot. So
She directed the two
It's okay.
best
It's
episodes
okay.
of season
You know-
1.
What were you thinking of? What were you thinking of? You had something to say.
Well, 2 of.
who
Grant.
had something to say?
Grant, you had something to say. You were like ready to speak.
No, I was just I'm not really interested in it. I'll probably watch the pilot and make my mind up then if I like it or not. And then, but yeah, I've got no real interest in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Deborah Chow. She's
Bring him back
directing
on.
it.
What do you-
She directed
No,
2
yeah,
really
dude.
good episodes.
I thought he had something to say. I thought he had something to say that wasn't what we were saying. So I wanted to give him a chance, but then it was just
yeah, he should have.
So all right, so let me get into the last topic of this video before I play the last one.
Right?
The Pixar thing. I wonder what your guys' thoughts are on this. Of essentially the thought being that, according to sources, morale is down at Pixar amongst the animators themselves because they feel that since Disney has introduced the $30 premium access fee, the only two theatrical films to not only lose their theatrical release, but not be worth a premium charge are their two Pixar animated films. Which is a very interesting way of looking at it. I never thought of it in that sense, but they are correct in that the Pixar films are the only films to be treated differently. From here on out, for the temporary future, it seems, because we'll get to the release dates in a second, that's the next story, but a number of films past July are not currently going to be doing the premium access fee. There probably will if the pandemic is still hurting them that badly, but the holdout is that they won't need to. But Pixar films are the only films to lose that privilege and to lose theatrical release, and they're being put on there for free, which I'd never thought of it from that sense. But like, as the person who's creating it, like Grant, if you were in that position, like how would you think the same way? Do you think what they're saying is valid internally?
Yeah, well, I think since Disney bought Pixar, it's gone downhill anyway. So Disney's where franchise and companies go to die. Yeah, no, I get it. They've been given the short straw. Their budgets have been slashed consistently, and now they're not even good enough to be in the cinemas. You know, when 10, 15 years ago, they ruled the cinema.
American cinemas aren't open at full capacity yet.
Right. So like the comparison that I used in the video, which I'll bring up here again, is another Disney animated film, Raya and the Last Dragon, has come out. Now that film was by Disney Studios, not Pixar, but they still received a theatrical release, a D+ premium access, and even though and I got the date wrong in the video, I believe it was in 2018, Disney discontinued short films with their theatrical animated releases in anticipation for Disney+. All their shorts go to Disney+ now for you to watch as soon as they're done.
And that last one was really bad.
They still created a special short for the theatrical viewing of Raya and the Last Dragon that will only be available to those who see it in theater until Raya releases for free on Disney+. So they were even trying to give it an extra reason to go see it in the theaters.
That's
versus the treatment of Pixar films, which are just getting shunted to Disney+ with no premium release. I
said about the short though, that's just plain irresponsible.
I don't think so. They weren't
people that go to theaters, and it's dangerous to go to theaters.
They weren't marketing it. It was there. It was like a surprise.
That's weird.
I liked it. I thought it was a beautiful short film.
Opposite of Warner Brothers, though, that they are supporting the movie theaters chains a little bit more than Warner Brothers might have. That's like my positive takeaway from that, is that they were trying to get people to support movie theaters.
But so, anyways, the point of the topic being, is Pixar valid in their thought of, no, we're being given, the shit shift here. Our films, you're telling us our films are not worth, the same treatment as other films. Matt, would you agree with that statement? Is that the message Disney is sending?
That Pixar is being treated different. But they honestly should have pushed this to July instead of just doing Disney+, because honestly, if it came out June even, I think it could have made $42 million. And for a movie like that, because I think that's what Godzilla vs. Kong made. I think $42 million for a movie that's not like Toy Story or anything would actually be a pretty good opening. Because I'm sure it didn't cost a whole lot. For just like even in regular, like if there was no COVID or anything, I think 42 million is a good opening for a movie like Luca, because there's no expectation of it hitting like Toy Story numbers or The Incredibles numbers. It's just like it's a new story, there you go. That's probably what the one Panda movie that they're doing next year, whatever, is probably gonna make. It's probably gonna make around 40 million.
Yeah.
Turning Red or
something like that.
I think they have a team of people and artificial intelligences that are telling them don't release this in theater because the marketing you put in, the cost for theaters that you put in, you won't recuperate it in this place in time right now. Like you're not going to get your losses back.
Right. So the difference and the question of ethics around it is, so like, for example, let's take another film that isn't, all things considered, probably isn't a major thing that people are looking forward to.
Right.
That also didn't cost $200 million. Let's talk about Cruella. Cruella is keeping its theatrical release and is getting a D+ access release. Why
they have actor contracts, I think. Like, I think they have committed to theatrical release with actors like Emma Stone.
Well, then how did films like Artemis, like a film like The One and Only Ivan, which had a very good ensemble, how did that end up on Disney+?
Well, I mean, it's a contract. I don't see the contracts. I don't know. It's just that's all I can speculate. Maybe they came to some sort of settlement with the actors, because contracts, we don't see like the fine print in the contracts. But I imagine that with Pixar, since it's animated and since they only have to pay the big name talent to do voiceover stuff, I imagine that those theatrical clauses either aren't in the contract to begin with or are much more lenient with actors. So the big name actors are much more willing to say, okay, you don't see my face in this movie. You just hear my voice in this movie. I'm okay with it going to Disney Plus because just as many people are going to watch it on Disney Plus.
Do you really think somebody like Jamie Foxx would have that mindset? Jamie Foxx, of all people, wouldn't have that mindset.
Called Project Power on Netflix.
I don't think acting has. I don't think the actors have anything to do with it. I think it's a calculated decision by Disney to do this. It's just, why is it only like? And again, the example I gave. Why does Raya get that same treatment? But because Raya could have probably just been put to Disney Plus for free.
Yeah.
Right.
Why are their own animated films getting that special extra treatment, but Pixar's aren't?
They don't have. They think it'll do better in this society, in this climate.
But Raya tanked.
Why? I don't know. But just looking at the title, Raya and the Last Dragon, that gravitates me. Now, once I saw a trailer for it, I'm like, no, thank you. But that's not a dragon. It's fluffy. And then I moved on past that. But I think it's more. I don't think it's them saying no. We don't like you, Pixar. I think it's more just they're taking it on a case-by-case basis right now. Excuse me. And they're viewing that this movie would not be profitable in theaters. Let's put it on Disney Plus. It may make somebody subscribe or keep their subscription during a time that there's a lull on Disney Plus.
I disagree with that simply because if they had that mindset, for one, they're only doing it with Pixar. Two, Soul was a movie that a lot of people were really looking forward to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
and that was a Christmas Day release too, which I think does deserve a slight asterisk because.
But they could have pushed it.
This Christmas was different.
It was originally going to come out in November. Then they moved it to Christmas.
They moved it to Christmas and made it a D+ only.
Oh no, I know that.
Yeah, so they could have just said, "Hey, we're going to push it to November 2021, or even August 2021." They could have done that, but they said, "No, we'll push it to Christmas," and then they decided we'll make it a Disney Plus exclusive.
Another thing you got to remember is that Disney Plus, the first year of launching, their number one viewed thing on Disney Plus was The Mandalorian, and their number 5 viewed thing was the documentary about The Mandalorian. They had nothing.
Are you talking like day one, or are you talking like?
No, I'm talking like by December, their exclusive content compared to the other streaming services was lower than what those streamings. A lot of the other streaming services had more exclusive streaming content. I think it's more about building up Disney Plus and less about building down Pixar.
So are you talking season 1 or season 2 of Mandalorian?
Season 1. That was
their first year. It wasn't
first year. That time, yeah.
If we're talking first year, like October to December, then yeah. But once you get past that, Hamilton took over.
They had Mulan for premium members only.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is exclusive content. One movie is not enough for exclusive content. High School Musical, the musical, is not enough for.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that reasons for people to say subscribed. So at that point, The Mandalorian season 2 is over. Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, those things hadn't started up yet. They needed something to fill the gap for new content. And that's why
February, so it's
watched like crazy.
Content that doesn't appeal to you. But by
Not
February,
just the general public.
By February 2020, prior to the beginning of the pandemic, Disney Plus had already released 4 films that were all kid-centric, and they had 2 shows up, one of them being the High School Musical, and they launched another one in February that was a slightly higher grade, probably Disney Channel-esque show. So they were marketing initially more to kids. They weren't coming out the gate with their Marvel and Star Wars stuff because they didn't have it, quite frankly. It wasn't ready.
Pixar is one of those brands that adults will watch. Like it's
But
made
why-
for kids, but consumable by adults.
Then why not theaters?
But why wasn't Raya given the same equal treatment? Is what I'm saying.
Because they thought Raya could succeed. The point where
I'm
Raya
approaching
was released, it wasn't during a wave. It wasn't during a holiday season. And it wasn't during a lull point on Disney Plus.
Right, but what I'm saying is every film since Mulan that's supposed to be theatrical has either been pushed to maintain theatrical or is getting the D+ release.
So you're asking why they are leaving Pixar out?
Why? Yeah, well, I'm speaking about it from Pixar's point of view. They're looking and going, hold on. We get everything before Mulan. You put Ivan out for free. You put Hamilton out for free. We get all that. But Mulan gets a D+ release. Okay, like exclusive
it's not
release.
Free. It's paid.
Okay,
in the
paid premium release. Okay,
no, I understand.
You're giving Black Widow a paid premium release. Okay, you're giving Cruella a paid premium release.
Yes.
You're giving Raya, another animated film, a paid premium release.
Yes.
But I think our films are getting shifted out of theaters completely and are going to be free to the public. We're not worth the extra charge. That's how they're viewing it.
I think it's the right thing to do because I think it's a very analytical point. And I'm not saying that it's not worth the extra charge. I'm saying that look at what happened. Just look at December purely, between December and January. After that Luke Skywalker on the Mandalorian thing happened, there was not much that was being released directly to Disney Plus, and they had to pick something. They picked Pixar. I don't know why they picked Pixar. I think it's a very analytical response. I don't think it's a front to the people at Pixar saying that we bought you and we don't respect you. I think it's more them just looking at what can we market, what can we profit from putting in theaters, and what will people gravitate towards as far as new subscribers go on Disney Plus. I think they're viewing both entities, both theatrical releases and Disney Plus, as equals now. Because look at the way that they're treating something like Falcon and Winter Soldier. They're not saying this is stuck on it, Disney Plus. They're saying, look, this is on Disney Plus.
Did the upset not happen?
To sell Disney Plus.
So UCLA was playing Gonzaga. Gonzaga is considered quite possibly the greatest basketball team, maybe ever.
Great name, Gonzaga.
This year. So UCLA, with 2 seconds left, ties it to potentially go to second overtime. And then Gonzaga hits a near half-court 3 to win the game. And when the buzzer went off. So
Grant's back.
Yeah, it did not happen. It's very sad. I'm glad I didn't bet money on this game.
Okay.
But it's a very, very heartbreaking thing.
What does Grant think about Gonzaga?
Did he get the 3-pointer that he went for?
Yeah, he hit the 3-pointer to win the game.
Yeah, not surprised.
Do they know what basketball is in Australia?
Yeah, they have a basketball league in Australia.
I didn't know. I'm asking because I don't know. Ignorance is not innocence. I agree. But I'm asking because I don't know. What did you think of the Space Jam trailer, Grant, since we're on the subject of basketball?
No.
Please.
Let's just say that I think this ends the debate once and for all. Jordan's better at everything.
Thank you.
Something we can all agree on for once.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
I think we.
I didn't.
Jordan's better than LeBron.
I was sort of on board with the film, and then I saw Sonequa Martin Green, and I just went,
Okay,
you're playing the same bits
You was
character you always
interrupted
do.
before you could say
Awesome.
something bad about
I'm
Star
out.
Trek Discovery. You glitched there, Grant. Nobody heard what you said.
A glitch? Did it?
Yeah, it cut you off.
No, I just said that.
Project Discovery, though.
No, I just said that I saw as soon as I saw Sonequa Martin Green in it, I was just like, yeah, I'm done with this film. And then when they make the Looney Tunes look real, I just like, oh.
Yeah, that was bad.
All right.
Yeah, they did.
All right.
And with that, let's move on to the brief final topic since we're talking about Disney.
We got to the final topic. Shocking.
Well, I didn't record the rest of it.
Stop with the slander.
Listen, here, we can do this.
Unless
if you guys want to
in Space Jam, Beer's not going to see it.
Unless we can do this, if you guys want to skip the movie, the release dates one, I still have the write-up for Transformers in front of me. I can just read it.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Transformers one. Yeah, Devin wants Transformers.
Okay, cool. So basically, to discuss the movie release dates one, I had a video prep for it. A bunch of movies shifted release dates. Disney changed their whole schedule. Other films jumped, and Resident Evil got a new title, Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. With that being said, let's move on. I'll do here we go. Let me make myself big, and I'll do a live read. It's a lot of me, right? I'll do a live read of the Transformers ones. All right, here we go. So, this week, Transformers lead producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventura spoke out to confirm and give clarity to the number of rumored projects we'd heard through over the last couple of years. And basically, I was able to put together a breakdown of everything that we now know about these projects. So up first, when talking about Michael Bay's Transformers 6, Di Bonaventura said that the film does still exist on some level, but it is not in any kind of active development and is not a main priority for them to create. That's not to say they won't go back eventually, but it's not on the docket for now. The second project up is a film tentatively titled Transformers 1, which is an animated prequel focusing on Cybertron that's inspired by the opening sequence of Bumblebee, and will explore the early relationship of Optimus Prime and Megatron and how they came to be enemies. The film will be a fully animated film that will be written and directed by Inside Out and Toy Story 4 director Josh Cooley, and is based on a script that is written by Cooley and co-written by Gabriel Ferrari and Andrew Barrer, who are best known for writing Ant-Man and the Wasp. The third film in development is a sequel to the 2018 film Bumblebee that is moving forward. Director Travis Knight will not be returning, with his focus instead being on his studio Leica Pictures, and so instead he will be replaced by Creed 2 director Stephen Caple Jr. The script is being written by writer Joby Harold, known for his involvement with films like Edge of Tomorrow, John Wick Chapter 3, and the Zack Snyder upcoming film Army of the Dead. It is unknown if any of the film's original cast, including John Cena or Haley Steinfeld, will return, but we do know that In the Heights star Anthony Ramos has been cast in a leading role. The fourth film is an untitled spinoff. They said it'll be another completely separate spinoff like Bumblebee was. The film is being worked on by Angel Miguel Soto, who directed last year's indie hit Charm City Kings. And the script is being worked on by Marco Ramirez, who is best known for showrunning and co-writing Daredevil Seasons 1 and 2 and The Defenders for Netflix. Nothing else is known about the plot yet. And then finally, a film that is still in early development, Transformers Beast Wars, was announced a number of years based on the previous Beast Wars property. The film is being currently worked on by writer James Vanderbilt, who is best known for The Amazing Spider-Man and the film Zodiac, although the film does not have a director nor a specific plot or characters in mind and is still in very early pre-production.
Devin has opinions. Devin loves Transformers.
Go ahead.
He loves Transformers toys. What do you got?
Wow. All right.
Oh, here we go.
That was a summary, right?
That was essentially a summary of what's going on, yeah.
So, in your research of that, specifically focusing on the fully animated Cybertron movie,
yes,
did the name Orion Pax ever come up?
Not explicitly that I saw, but from what I read, the writers looked at previous incarnations of Cybertron's portrayal. So that's not to say it couldn't be an influence, but it mostly seemed to focus on Megatron and Optimus Prime. Those are the only two direct character names I saw.
All right.
Okay, I have a question. When it comes to animated, my problem with the animated is that animated could be anything. It could be the stuff they've been putting on Netflix. It could be stuff.
They said it was inspired by
that,
the Bumblebee stuff.
So if it's photorealistic animation, sign me up.
Yes.
It'll most likely be somewhere between photorealistic and what Pixar does, especially because they brought in a Pixar director to work on it.
No, thank you.
Now, to be fair, I love the choice of the director. Josh Cooley has directed two of the best films that Pixar's made in the last years. He co-directed. He was like the understudy director on Inside Out, and I personally really love Toy Story 4. It's not as good as the originals, obviously, but it's like
Toy Story 4 is the best one.
For me, it's like a sidestep below. It's not bad at all. It certainly can hold up with them. So I've loved his work with Pixar thus far. I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. I didn't think it was terrible. And these two guys wrote the story for it, not so much the humor. That was more Paul Rudd and Adam McKay. And I thought the story concept was fine. So I'm very curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah. And Beast Wars, I know
Chris, if you listen to everything that I said, they are more focused on making a sequel to Bumblebee than they will making a Bay movie sequel.
Yes. But they will make it eventually, I think.
Bay, if
Beast
there
Wars
was
is really what Devin is into.
Basically, based off what I read, if I had to rank what we are most likely to get first, it's like Bumblebee 2 and Transformers 1 are up here.
Yeah.
Then the separate spinoff from Angel Soto and Marco Ramirez. And then it's like Michael Bay 6 and Beast Wars are down here just based on how much development they've done. But Beast Wars has more development because they at least have a writer working on it.
I don't think Beast Wars is going to happen. Beast Wars is one of those things like New Gods or what was the other one that we mentioned earlier? So
The Trench.
The Trench. Not especially New Gods. Beast Wars, I think that's going to be something that's going to get stuck in development hell, where people just can't decide on the direction that they go with it, and then don't end up making it because it's a bit far-fetched even for Transformers.
No, so to answer the question again, no, Chris. Travis Knight is not coming back because he's technically a studio CEO, so he's focusing on Laika. Stephen Caple Jr., best known for directing the indie film The Land, as well as Creed 2, will be taking over directing duties.
All right.
Which I like. I like the voice.
I don't have anything about
he doesn't have anything about Beast Wars.
But that one that you don't know anything about.
Yeah. Basically, they've basically just brought into a writer and a director to work on it, and they're kind of just giving them carte blanche. Whatever they want to pitch, they'll go at. So it's very hard to pick details out.
Okay.
Yeah. But it'll be like Bumblebee, where it's like Bumblebee doesn't ever explicitly say it's not in the Bay timeline. Like it's still set in that same kind of world, but it'll be its own separated story.
It's like the X-Men. Like they contradict themselves, but it's not like it's inspired.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the Transformers 1.
Sorry. So I heard you say the rivalry between Megatron and Optimus.
Right.
I can't remember if you said Megatron's rise to power or not.
It would be all-encompassing with that story. So it'll focus on their beginnings, any kind of initial friendship the writers may put in, and then their split and rise to separate powers. Yes.
Okay. So.
And like I said, the writers were allowed to work with, for all these projects, were allowed to look at any previous inspirations. You clearly know way more about Transformers than I do, so you can interpret what I say and what you think would work best.
Well.
That laugh got Grant. Whose eyes went the right direction. Somebody knows how to point on a camera.
Yeah. From what I know, a bar fight at McAdams' old oil house leads to Megatron's rise to power. And
I'm down for that, sure.
Bar fight?
Yes, he was a gladiator. Yep.
Like Russell
I'd be
Crowe?
down with that.
Fine.
Okay.
Kind of.
He got in a bar
Less
fight.
gruesome.
Just like a bar where robots drink?
Yeah, McAdams' old oil house.
Robots getting drunk.
Well. And the reason I mentioned Orion Pax was because that used to be Optimus Prime's name until Megatron shot at him and his girlfriend Ariel in the chest. And then Alpha Trion took the two of the bodies and
from the Little
rebuilt
Mermaid?
them.
No.
She became Alita 1.
Okay, she became Alita 1, not Alita Battle Angel.
E, not A.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you. E, not A, people.
That's it. Right? So
So like if that's something they've done previously, whether or not they adapt it verbatim or they use inspiration from it is
to talk
something
more about Orion Pax.
No, please talk about it. I don't know shit about this, so go ahead.
That
I didn't think we'd have an expert.
One, I'd be excited to see if they'd even try to tackle the Primus. It would okay. So what they do with that one will
determine.
Use your words.
The more you encourage them, the worse they'll get.
You're right there.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
All right. So while you think about,
there's a lot. They. Fuck.
All right. So can I pose you a question then,
Okay.
related to it? You clearly know a lot about the subject, and so this idea that this could come to fruition clearly interests you. When I say the people involved, writer and director behind Inside Out and Toy Story 4, and the writers of Ant-Man and the Wasp, are those projects and their involvement in those projects give you the confidence that these people could do that story justice?
You know, thinking about that, they. Okay, so
You made the mistake of asking him a question.
yes,
Fair
that makes me think that they might go more towards the direction of one of Cybertron's colonies.
Now, I actually have an interesting point about this.
Go ahead.
I forget what it was, but I had one. No, what I was gonna ask was what I was gonna say was that they need to have him in a writer's room, because I don't think that they're thinking at all about this stuff. I don't think they're looking at mythology, stuff like that. Orion Pax, I don't think they know anything about that. I think they are doing very surface level Transformers stuff, and that the producers are like, no, in the studios, like, hey, no, don't get too complicated, guys. And that's what worries me about this stuff, is that they're just going to do like surface level Transformers stuff like they used to do. That Transformers 1 movie, my biggest concern of that is the animation style, because what separates that from the stuff they've been putting on Netflix?
The quality of the people behind it, the talent that's involved.
And also the timeline, because that the one that's on Netflix is pretty much picking up. It's what we see in that is right before, or at least what we watched was right before the 1984 series, and then the next season is the 1984 series, but different. And then the next season is Beast Wars. But was it Transformers 1 or Cybertron 1?
Transformers 1.
Transformers 1 is and that's just a working title. They could adjust that.
Yeah. That's before anything that has come to screens.
Okay.
Could be comic.
Like X-Men First Class type thing.
That undone project could be The Lost Light.
Wow. I mean, they lost their power, and then the lights went out, and the milk went sour.
As spaceship, like it kind of end of a timeline where Megatron and Rodimus and a bunch of people are on this one spaceship, and they're doing a bunch of shit. I have to look back into it.
Guys, you put the nickel in the jukebox, you get the whole song.
I'm okay with it. I'm glad we finally struck a chord, but like something he's really passionate about. It rarely happens that we get him to talk this much. I'm glad I brought this up. Just for the record, Devin, when I sent the list out to all the people to get a recommendation on what order I should rank these, almost everyone put this last. So you almost didn't hear this.
I put it before. I think I put it before last. I put it second to last.
Probably, but
yeah.
So, do we have any more comments on it? Beer, Grant, if you have anything to add as well.
Yeah, leave Beast Wars alone. Let it be what it was. Don't try and update it or modernize it. You'll only wreck it.
Okay, so the writer of Zodiac gives you no confidence either way. Just stay away from it.
God.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Beer?
Is Beer talking? Because I can't hear him.
Speak.
To simply put it, I have no idea what the fuck these people are talking about.
Okay, I did put it last. Sorry, Devin.
I have no idea what these things are. I know the movies, and that's it.
So no anticipation, no disanticipation. Just
we're past 2 hours, so if you want to go watch sports,
I'm just entering a clean slate. It's like this whole road. It's like a brand new movie that I've never heard about. That I'm just going to see. I just have simply,
protocol.
I will.
Environment 3, clean slate protocol. All the Transformers are just blowing up, and there's going to be new ones.
No, it's like seeing a movie I've never heard of for the first time.
I've seen the 1986 movie. I saw that one.
What I'm excited for is, unlike when they brought Michael Bay in, and they brought in, Aaron Kruger, who wrote 3 of those films with almost no experience under his belt. The difference between that and what I'm hearing now is all the creatives they're bringing in are people who have projects under their belt that are good, that even if they're not quite in Transformers ballpark, with Travis Knight, I would have never guessed the guy who made Kubo and the Two Strings could make a good Transformers film. But he made a good film, and they brought him over, and he made another good film.
Good, my favorite part of that.
But that being said, he also said that he was a huge fan growing up. I mean, we've heard nothing about any of these other directors and writers saying that they even like Transformers as a property.
That's what worries
True,
me about
they're not. None of them are speaking publicly at all about it, though, one way or the other.
That's the problem.
Some of these were brand new announcements. Like the Cable Jr. thing was a brand new thing we learned. The whole new project was one that we learned with Soto and Ramirez. Anthony Ramos being cast was something that we learned through this. So we learned a lot about them this week. It's just they're all paragraph length summations of where they're at thus far, and it's very hard to dig deeper than that unless you're someone like Devin who clearly has enough of a knowledge of Transformers history that he can kind of pick and piece what may be inspiring these projects, and then from that point it's just how do they interpret it and how do they deliver it in some sort of sense.
If they have the ground level action that they did in Bumblebee, like that was my favorite part of Bumblebee, where like they're in that end location, like near the water, and you see Haley Steinfeld like running, like it's a front camera, like the camera's kind of tilted up, and you just see the scale of the Transformers behind him. If we get that kind of action in it, in anything that we have humans in, sign me up for that. But if it's a Cybertron,
there are minicons that are about human size.
Oh wow!
And some of the colonies of Cybertron do have more human-sized aliens, so you could get something like that.
Like that lady.
Maybe.
Like that lady in the last one. The Quintesson or whatever it was.
Quintessa. I thought you were talking about the one from the second one.
Okay.
Oh God, that one's horrific.
Alice?
Oh God, no, awful.
Talk about a pussy that will destroy you.
Like jailbait at its worst.
Yeah, and so with that, guys, I think we've hit on everything. And that will be the show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I'll go around the panel. Go ahead, Devin.
I saw something about the dude from Aladdin getting cast as Ezra.
That was weeks ago.
Okay, I saw that today.
They may have officially. They may have it. Last I saw, it was a rumor. If it got confirmed, then it was just something I missed because it was last minute. But we did talk about it. Yeah, I think that's cool casting. I liked him in Aladdin. He's one of the few things I liked about that movie. So, I thought he tried.
You thought, okay. Hey, with that note, guys, we're not going to bash Aladdin.
Let's go ahead and end the show. Let me go around the horn. Grant, thank you for coming in and joining us, man. We're always glad to have you. Where can the people find you?
Anywhere on the internet. I'm either watching it or being a part of it. And Aladdin sucked. So
Lies.
All right. Nikki and Devin, where can people find you guys?
Beer, did I just hear you like Aladdin?
Yeah.
High five, man.
I bought the 4K.
High five.
I don't forgive you for the Russell Crowe slander, but
Well, Naomi Scott is a better voice than you too. You can find
I'm not gonna
me
argue
having a
she's
better
too
voice than
beautiful,
Russell
argue.
Crowe everywhere I go.
Beer, where can people find you?
you can find me on here, on this channel, on the show, on the after shows, all that good stuff. You can find me at the Russell Crowe fan club, where we watch Les Mis a lot, singing all of his songs together,
Name one.
throw phones
Name
at
one
people
song
and
he
worshiping
sings
his shrine.
Name
Oh,
one song he sings
no.
And then you can also find me on, and I'll pull up the thing. You can find me on the Inside the Horseshoe podcast channel, which, for those who don't know, we took Inside Horseshoe off of this channel, and then we put it on its own channel with other videos. So, for example, if you look up Inside the Horseshoe, look up the channel, you're going to see all this stuff. There's all these videos. Look, this video's already. It's not even been 2 weeks. So you can find me there as well. There's a video tomorrow at 8 a.m. on Easter. So happy Easter.
Yes, happy Easter, everybody. That starts in like, I don't know. Grant's probably already in Easter.
25 minutes.
And,
Yep. Happy Easter,
25
Grant.
minutes.
If you
But so if you celebrate, happy Easter. And you guys can find myself all around TMG doing everything to kind of cross promote, because I help produce it behind the scenes. On Monday at 7 p.m. EST on TMG Trivia, the second TM Geek title match is going up. The reigning title holder who beat Movie Trivia Schmodown entrant Amaru Moses, Joe Fairley, takes on another one of his best friends and the number one contender, David Garcia Alonso. So please be sure to check that out. Other than that, on this channel, every Sunday at noon EST, the Supernova Show goes up. This week, it is guest hosted by the TM Geek Commissioner, Mr. Kevin Poss, filling in for Colton. All your geekiest desires are found there. On Mondays, normally at 7 p.m. EST, I'm going to upload it a little earlier to give room for that and the title match. Schmo Talks goes up. We're continuing our flashback series, so be sure to check that out. On Tuesday afternoons, we have Cancel This Show with one Matt Beer and Alan Shepard talking about everything that should get you in trouble and still staying around. And on Fridays at 8 p.m. EST, we have our after shows. We're covering The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Next week, we'll be covering episode 4. And of course, every Saturday night at 9 p.m. EST, or in and around that time, whenever we decide to finally hit the live button, you guys can catch After Dark, where we'll be back doing the same After Dark things, the same After Dark people on another After Dark week. With that being said, thank you guys so much for checking us out. My name is Aaron Knoll, and we will see you guys all next time on After Dark.
Space Jam is better than Back in Action.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let's do a positive thing before I close out the show.